that's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
All right there. What day is it? Friday. You tell me it's Friday. Oh, what's happening over here? All right there. It is Friday, isn't it? And what marvellous delights is it? It's Friday. Been grafting a week. Apologies about the lack of streams. Have I done any this week? Maybe Monday? I don't know. I've been spending a lot of time with my missus. I love that woman more than life itself. Yesterday, when I got up for a whiz, not whiz as in, I'm whizzing my fucking tits off, mate, but like a wee-wee. When I come back in the room, she was laying down, and I thought about everything she's been through. And I know, you know, different people have different lives, and different countries have different expectations. And I just thought, you know, I've seen her grow for like 6 years, and someone who never went to school, she's amazing, so incredibly clever and bright and strong. And like this move into the jungle, lark, I'd never wanted to do that of any other bird. But it just seems exactly the right thing to do. Might take a couple of years to sort out, but you know, I've had long-term relationships, 8 years. I'll miss out a couple of little ones. Well, about 1,000 little ones, but 8 years, 2 years, 11 years, 2 years, 6 years. Not one of them women did I want to live with or settle down with. That's the words. That's the phrase. I've not even considered it. And they knew. None of them said, should we get a place together or something? Because they knew I'd go, why? So, you know, I did live with a couple of them, but it was unstable, I think is the word. You know, it wasn't like, right, let's compost the turf of the ground we lay our house so our roots may be deep and strong. No. It's let's hope the wind picks up and blows this paper house up the road so I can get away from here as quickly as possible. Most of my girlfriends, and a few of them, I managed to convince to leave me, saving me the hard work and saving me the 20-hour conversation afterwards where you've got to talk about it. When you go, look, it's not working, probably better we never see each other again and you don't text me, because you've got to do it then. It's like natural law that a woman will then want to, she'll pretend to agree, spend 24 hours straight discussing it, and then next day, I know we're not together, but should we meet up for tea or dinner or anything? I'll buy it. You know, those shoes you wanted, I'll get them. And you're like, oh, probably better we don't text and that because it makes it harder. And then the next thing turns up around my house, pissed out her head and starts attacking me. So every single time when they've finally ended and I've shut the door, I've gone like so ridiculously happy. And that's why I always say to people, like, I've got mates and they're like, oh, what have I done, man? I'm all birded off, especially younger blokes. I'm all birded off. And I think older men should get birded off and have kids. I think they should. I think it's part of the natural role, and I think they should wait till they're older. It's my opinion. I'm not saying there's a right or a wrong. This is just how if I were king for a day. But they're like, man, I've been with her for 2 years and I can't stand it. And I say to them, if you could press a button and Vartation has occurred. My new microphone will be here soon, and I know why we're not getting VART. So when the new mic gets here, not this mouldy electric shock giving. I worked it out the other day. I was using OBS, and when I was talking, it wasn't going up. You know, the little sort of meter that goes like yellow, green, yellow, and then red. So I had to turn the decibels up and up and up, and it was like 15 I had to turn. I thought, this is crazy. There's got to be something wrong. I just moved the cable, and as soon as I said something, just up to red. So it's broken. So that's why. I mean, I spoke to the Entropy boys. They've changed nothing. They said, no, that should still be working. I mean, I don't know if anyone heard that. What did we call it the other day? A spart or a slat? Slatten. Ah, miss Daughter of Albion so much. Anyway, you know, I say to these young lads, if you could press a button and not be in, and you know, this applies to women obviously as well, but I can talk from a man's point of view. If you could be out of that relationship with a press of a button, would you do it? And without a fault, they're like, yeah. And I go, you can. You can. You just say, you, and you know what it is? It's just, it's a lack of self-worth. It's like, no, you should sacrifice your life, your one and only life, for them, for that person that treats you badly and you don't want to be with. That is self-esteem right through the ground. And the longer you stay there, the more caught up in a woman or a partner who stay with someone like that, they've got mad codependency problems anyway. So they're not going to let you go. And the longer they're with them, the more they're going to tie you up in a web of codependence, making it harder and harder and harder for you to get out. Oh, should we get a combined? We should really get a joint bank account. You know, and oh god, you should be good to yourselves, people. If you don't want to be in a relationship, get out at whatever it takes, because it's not just miserable evenings, it's your life. And I promise you, and it's 10 years. You were 22 and now you're 32 and you're still there. And you're getting embittered watching all your mates in love with people or having a good time. Or both. But just staying with someone because on an unconscious level you feel that their needs are more important than yours. And that comes from parenting. You know, Will Self has just released a new book called Elaine. His mother, she kept diaries like for decades. And don't quote me on this, but they were kept when him and his brother found them. She was still alive, if I remember rightly, when they found her diaries. And he's written a book, and he's written it from her position, sort of. It's a bit more complicated than that. But, you know, the first person is kind of her using bits from the diaries to tell the stories and an actual sort of monologue and dialogue. And he pinged me an email yesterday. He said, "Oh, actually, no, it wasn't in the email. Yes, it was. No, in a review for the book, he described his mother as his only reader. In a way, he sort of said that. I really don't want to misquote him, but I know what he means. When you're me and you've got a master's degree at 23 years old, which means you've already done 5 years of higher education, I was just overachieving so that my mum might notice me and take some interest in me. You know, this isn't it's kind of typical working class parenting. And when he described his mother as his only reader, I sort of understood it. And I said to him, everything I write is really me asking my mum, my dead mother, to notice me. No, my writing is dominated by me wanting my mother to notice me and my dead father telling me not to bother. The other who writes, what a yeah. I'll stop that there and I'll do something magical. Yo!
Hello.
Oh, we got a bit of an echo there, son. It stopped
We-
though. Maybe it's because I went, yo! Yeah, it was.
You're coming out my telly. And this is, yeah, I can
Not a
turn you down.
problem. How are you, Picard?
I'm all right. A bit knackered, but I'm all right.
End of the week, innit? But start of the weekend. Magic out of 10, 0 being not that magic, 10 being Paul Daniels extravaganza. The weekend.
What, this weekend?
All weekends.
What,
The
9?
concept of the weekend, 9.
Oh,
nice.
Weekend? Yeah, 9. Yeah.
9?
Yeah.
Not 10? Oh, I know. You got to take that one off because Sunday evening, you're like, it's Monday tomorrow. It's not perfect, is it? Nothing's perfect. Thankfully, nothing is perfect. In a world of perfection, well, a world of perfection is at the end of a communist plan, but it never reaches the end. You just get the first bit where loads of people die and starve and run out of money and kill each other. So we don't want perfection. Some of the madness I've heard coming out of England, Lord. I've got friends who are leaving England, right? And they don't want to tell people because people are going to give them a load of mouth. You get one life. I mean, if you're doing something about it, okay. But if you're not, you know, I get it all the time. I get snide little comments and that. Not only on here. All right, and I want to say massive respect to Packer. I was watching 42's stream, it might have been, or Sensen's or someone's the other day. I don't say anything because I just want to watch and, you know. And people were saying who's streaming and what times and blah, 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 and I didn't get a mention, which is all right, you know. And then Packer went, don't forget Dangerfield, streams when he can. And I was like, go on, son, go on, look at him. And you must have noticed it. I did not get a mention. And do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very sweet of you. I thought, oh, look at that. And I guess that you knew that they'd know, that you'd know, that they knew that, you know where I'm going with that. Whoa! I've got to move my microphone a bit because I can't see myself. And when I stream, I like to stare at myself. Right, let's get the griftation out of the way. We already got one. How do I get it to show the stars? Comments? Starred. Zerg. No way. Hang on. Is that your nut? I thought that was a currency. I thought you'd sent me 1,337 Zergs. I was thinking we've got an interplanetary visitor. Zerg drops into Australian dollars. Thank you very much, Zerg. I found you through Bearing, and I love your tales. Nice one. That's absolutely lovely.
I can see what it says on Zerg's little picture.
Is it? Can you say it, or is it Susan unfriendly?
No, no, it isn't. I don't think. But I'm not going to say it.
All right, then maybe you can put it in the private comments, and I'll evaluate it. Up to you. Thank you, Zerg. What a nice thing to say. Zerg,
that's quite relevant to what it says.
If you like my tales, not only am I a raconteur, not only am I a wizard of the voice, but I'm also a writer. And the top link in the description is my Substack, and it's free. There's about 36 short stories over there, and there's new ones being added. Like sometimes I take a couple of months and I don't do one. Sometimes I'll do 2 a month. Yeah, they're going down well. So if you want to go and check out my Substack and read some tales, you can do that. What I forgot to do today, I didn't tell the community I'm live now. Well, I'll do that now. Don't worry, people. We're going to get straight into the Chattertron in a moment. Let's put Zerg's message on the screen for a bit longer. What have I got to do? Where's that page gone? What the hell is going on? I don't know how to use computers. What I want is my own stream on the right. Gosh, there it is. And then I can do this. then I should be able to do this. Add, start a poll. Here we go. Here we go. Have you liked this nonsense? Yeah. Yeah. Later. Add option. Packer, what's the third option?
Nah.
Oh, I done no. You went nah.
Nah, N-A-H, nah.
N-A-H, and then followed by just an N-A, yeah?
Yeah, if you like.
Which has already got nearly all the votes, thanks. Oh no, that's the amount of letters I've used. Right, there you go. There's a little bit of a do the poll. You don't have to. That's ridiculous. Right. Thank you very much to all the people who left a comment and read my latest Substack. What's it called? The Amazing Mr. Honestly, It Isn't. I've had three more industry people subscribe to my Substack. 2 production companies. They make short films, and a film editor. And I know that by their domain in their email. They're not Gmails. They're like their emails, and I go and check them out. So something's going on. A bad time for my most recent story because it's probably my most unreadable. Anyway, look at Latus. Look, what's he say there? Look, that's such a Latus thing to say. Look, thanks, mate. JP says they only want to buy Skag. Talking about buying Skag, right? Don't forget the grift, people. You got entropy donations at the top of the YouTube chat. You got super chat at the bottom of the YouTube chat. And as I've been saying that, Pack has been practicing under the desk so that when he points to this, he gets it right first time. Go. Yeah, boy. If you scan your camera phone over that QR code, you'll get a little link. Click that. It will take you to buy me a coffee. Make a donation there. They take the least money away. And I'll give you'll get a video reply, which I'm told in the world of YouTubing is a, what do you call it? What's the word, Packer? Where it inspires, motivates. It motivates people. How do I just log into I'm going to log into that one so I can see if any come up and thank you. There is no
carrot.
What's that, son?
It's a carrot.
It's a carrot. There you go. Yeah.
Carrot.
I'm a bit worried. They've just told me there's. Oh, I thought I was logging into my Substack and it said there's no account with that email, and I thought I'd lost it. I started making a stream the other day about investments. If you'd have taken my advice 3 3/4 years ago when I started talking about investments, putting a few £100 a month onto the S&P, I've worked it all out the other day and done the compound calculator. You'd have more than doubled your money by now in 3 3/4 years. And I know a load of people have. People have emailed me and said, I can't thank you enough. We've just managed to put our deposit on our house, all based on that S&P like you were talking about a while ago. And other people have just said, I can't believe what's happening. I'm going to leave it another 10 years. I'll likely retire in my 40s. And I'm like, yeah, you will. Like the geezer's 25. So he's already been doing it for 3 years. And then that gives him, 7, 10, let's say 45, 5. Jeez. Yeah, he'll have about, he's putting a monkey a month away based on historical charts, and he's in the UK and it's in an ISA, so it's tax free. He'll probably have 3.5, 4 mil. at 45. Why didn't anyone tell me when I was spunking all my money on whores? Horrors? Sorry, people, I am getting slightly... I just want to log in on the... Oh, your missus has sent me an email saying he might be up for it, but I'm a bit late getting home. Ah, so I sent him an email. I can't hear you. You're muted, mate. Or your mic's not working.
She's on a bus somewhere in Lincolnshire, blind.
Oh, she's had a problem, has she?
No, she's just been in the hospital to have her eyes checked. She's got a thing with her eyes. They have to put something in her eye.
Don't tell me, because she might not want you to. We've had all that before.
No, she's fine. They wouldn't let her out until she could see again.
Okay, so you lied.
Yeah.
When you said she's blind, you meant she can see.
Yeah.
I was blind. I can see. What's that? Moving on up now. You too or something in it? Put it in the chat. Whoever knows. What did you call it? Sound of Darkness?
Oh, that was the next line. Moving on up now. It was some Britpop type of band, wasn't it?
Right. Oh, I think you might be right. Right.
1990.
Someone will get it. Primal Scream, of course. Oh, Bobby Gillespie used to score off of the same doctor as me. Monster Traps. It's just the S&P 500. Over the last 4 years, it's averaged about 12.5%. Yeah, I won't do it. I'll do it another stream. I'm going to make a video out of it, because if I do a stream, people who ain't interested, they get very bored. But not only that, if it's long-term investing, right? So it's averaged about 12.5% since I told the scrubs here about long-term investing. But keep that for another 10 years, and you get your compound interest. You let the compound do the work for you. Once you get to 100 grand in a year, that's 12 grand for free. But you're also still topping it up, your dollar cost averaging, what you can afford at the end of the month. But 1 year, it might come in at 25%. And that's when you think, right, I'm done now, because you've just had a 25 touch, But I'll do a stream about it, because it's proven itself so well just in the last. The S&P's at all-time highs. When Palantir was like £8, people were like, "No, I'll buy it when it goes back down to 6." And then it went to like 15. They're like, "No, I'll buy it when it goes back down to 10." Then it went to 20. If it goes down to 10, I'll buy it. Then it went to 30. Nah. And now it's over 40. And I can't see it stopping. I'm not a big investor. I haven't got a lot of money, but I've only got to buy a little wooden house in the jungle, so I don't need a lot. But I'm keeping those Palantir shares for 10, 15, 20 years. My missus will inherit them, and she'll just sell them all, and hopefully she'll be set for life. I reckon Palantir, in 10, 15 years, right, I've got to say this, it's so boring. I'm not a qualified financial investor. Stock trading, even long-term investing is gambling. You can lose everything, right? This is just my opinion. Do your due diligence and all that. But what was I going to say there? I reckon Palantir in 15, 20 years will be $500, $600, $700 a share. They're 42 something at the moment. So think about it. Let's round that up to 50. So 50. So for 10 grand, how many are you getting for a grand at 50? 20 times 10, 200. So you're getting 200 for 10 grand, right? But you haven't got to find 10 grand. You've got to just put your little bit in every month, dollar cost averaging. Someone tell me if I got my maths wrong, but 10,000. Oh, I've got this so wrong. Right, fuck it. Like I said, I'll do it another time, but I reckon they're going to fly. Is Palantir expensive? Are they an expensive stock? Yes. But do you think the future is going to go more tech and more AI or less? It's like Nvidia. Everyone said the same about Nvidia, that's gone up like something stupid like 900%. Is the future going to need more Nvidia chips? Nvidia just released an AI that's made ChatGPT almost obsolete. Do you think the future is going to need more fast, high processing, high speed chips and semiconductors, or less? Basic. Check out Chris Camillo on YouTube. He doesn't look at fucking PE ratios and all that other nonsense. Is it good management? Is this business got a place in the future if the way culture's going? Are you impressed with management? Can you know, even if you can only get 30 quid, sometimes I put 30 quid, 40 quid a month in, but it's some. And then the next month it might be 100 quid, like what I've got left at the end of the month, basically. And when my missus comes in and goes, "Oh, I bought these new shoes, $60," I'm like, yeah. But I can't expect her to be as frugal as me. I don't buy anything. But, you know, right, what was I doing? Logging into that so I can see if anyone comes in there. There you go. Nice one. Right. Should we get someone on, Packer?
Yeah. Morning. So I was just voting in the poll.
Good lad. I should have done that. What did you vote for? No. Please like the stream, people. Say what you want in the poll, but if you like it, YouTube might spin it out to some other people. It's the main authority. If YouTube sees that, and it doesn't matter, even if 50 people watch it and 48 of them like it, it will send that out. It's to do with the percentages, not percentages and watch time. Anyway, right, here we go. Here's the link in the chat. It's open season. You can come on and talk about anything. If you just want to come on for a chat, I can direct the conversation. So you don't have to come on and go, I want to talk about trout fishing. But if you have got something you want to talk about, we'll do it. There's a few things I won't talk about on this channel, not because I don't want to, but because of YouTube rules. You'll likely get 5 to 10 minutes. Don't think I'm sort of jogging you on because you're boring. It's just it'll be nice to get a few different people. There you go. John makes a fair point. And you can even hit the dislike. This is the weird thing. When you see on those Facebook pranks that are obviously set up, and people write fake, and then they get 3 million people say fake. YouTube doesn't care about. I mean, I'd rather you press like, because that doesn't make a difference to YouTube, but it makes a difference to a viewer who might click it and see 4 likes, and they'll be like, oh, I'm not even going to bother trying. So it don't matter to YouTube, but it kind of matters to people who might wander into this merry mess of things. Had a good week, Packer?
Yeah, it's been all right. It's been okay. I've been pottering around in the garden at work most of the week, really.
Sounds lovely. James Tyler says, you fuckers have made me weep. Weeping is kind of like the pleasant kind of crying, isn't it? So that's all right. That's all right, I hope. Scott Applin, not financial advice, but crashes happen all the time. But crashes happen at all-time highs, and everything will crash. China is pumping money into their economy just to stay afloat. Everything is going to shit. Now, but the thing about long-term investing, if you're doing 10 or 15 years, you can cope with a crash. You can cope with 2 or 3 crashes, and that's been proven, historically proven. Now, if everything is going to shit, your money ain't worth anything anyway. So you might as well take the risk. You know, I'm not really sure what point you're making, and apart from your very unhappy. Or maybe you're very happy about it. I don't know. John says to get Packer on. Come on, JP, get on. Hello, Why Notty? How are you? Can we just make this a watch along? Yeah, all right. Let me see if I can think. Otto says the best investment is to stay healthy. It is a good investment, yeah, but it helps if you've got a few quid. It helps to stay healthy. Packer ain't buying all those steaks without a few quid in his pocket, I can assure you.
Have you seen that AI clip of Obama talking to Biden?
Sorry, go on, Packer. Oh,
have you seen that AI clip of Obama talking to Biden?
Shall I find? Is it worth a watch?
Yeah, it's amusing.
How long?
Sorry, I've just got a message. That'll be Mrs. Packer, probably.
Do I have to put AI? Anyone know what this video? Oh, we've got JP.
Hello, bro.
How are you, son?
Yeah, not too bad, fella. Bit weepy because of my poor little Bonnie cat's dying at the moment.
No,
so I've been a bit down this week. But I've got another little kitten, so everything's good.
What, before the other one's quite finished its time?
Yeah.
That's brutal. That's brutal, John.
They're getting to know each other and fighting and biting each other.
Well, I bet they are. When you go to bed, the bigger one looks at that little one and goes, "You little shit."
Yeah, 100%. It's doing it now.
Well, look, so I'm not laughing at obviously not laughing at the terrible news about your older cat, but those little kittens, like Cambodia's got a cat problem, and that sounds weird, but it has. And like, if you ever see baby, like newborn kittens, they want you to take them to. There's loads of places where they just say, "Take them here so we can spay them," or the other one. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Which one. Because there's fucking thousands of them running around. But those little kittens, they're so cute when they're just first born. They're ridiculous. I see one today jump about 4 meters from a car bonnet to a wall, and it was amazing because I see it sort of like sizing it up, and it was like looking around. Now I know it doesn't care, but I translated it as it was looking around to see who might check him out if he fucks it up. And then he almost went, and then fuck me, I saw him. He sort of compressed like a spring, and then just flew. He didn't get right on top of the wall, but he got enough of his nails in just to sort of climb up.
Yeah,
I thought the balls on that.
They are amazing. They are. I love cats. I sound like a cat lady sometimes, but I do. I love them, and they're not like dogs where you can kick them and they still come up to you and love you. Like a cat, you got to really work for its affection. That's what I like about the cat. Is when you got it, they're all over you.
Show you something here that I saw earlier. Give me a second. Hang on. It's short, which is always difficult to. Hang on. Oh,
but animal lovers amongst us really work for their affection. Is translates as be nice to them.
Right, here, it's only a short.
Don't kick them.
Yeah, good start.
I've just avoided that comment. I don't want PETA or Pet. What's that weird organisation that have just woped out? Don't get a goldfish because they drink. What? No, what's it called? PETA. PETA. Yeah, that's it. They've really sold. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. It's a short, so hopefully you'll be able to hear it. He talks about it's only like 30 seconds. He's a comedian actually, Quinn Dale. It might be Dale Quinn, but I've been watching a lot of his stuff recently. What I like about him is I don't usually like traditional stand-ups, just telling jokes, but he's very good at it, and so I've cut him some slack. So what I'll do, I'll put it on the screen It is a short, so it'll be tiny. You should be able to hear it all right. Now, so that we get it from the top, oh, that's why it was quiet. I'm going to roll it down, then roll it back up, and it should start automatically. So I'm going to mute myself just in case there's an echo. Here we go.
This is one time some white lady in the front row got triggered because I called a black guy. Cats are more low maintenance, easier to deal with. Like, you can't leave a dog alone for more than a day without feeding it, petting it, walking it. A cat, you can leave it alone for a month with no food or water. And when you come home, all you got to do is throw out the carcass.
Could you hear that?
Yeah, exactly that. That's another thing I love about them. They look after themselves. You just got to make sure you put some food down. When I was a kid, we used to go on holiday for like a week, like drive to Cornwall or whatever for a week.
Nice.
And just put the cat outside and leave a bowl of cat food and leave him to it for a week. Whereas with a dog, you can't do that, can you?
Pack is absolutely cracking up at your terrible animal.
To be honest, I had a lot, I mean a lot of animals when I was a kid, and they all died horrible deaths.
I can crack you up. You might have heard this Dale Quinn. He does a lot of jokes about race as well. You might have heard him drop one in. We'll give it a go. Hang on, listen to this.
One time, some white lady in the front row got triggered because I called a black guy brother. I was like, you don't understand. I call every guy brother. She was like, then why don't you call me sister? I was like, because you're not black. Stupid.
This is why you never judge.
One time.
Not the best one.
I've noticed lately there's been quite a lot of these comedians I've never heard of being like really like this, like really edgy on the JQ and about race. And the last 6 months, I keep seeing them come up.
It's because we've done our work, JP. The likes of us lot have been. Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you, Mr. Ken. Right in the chat there. It's we've been talking about this stuff for years. We don't so much anymore because it's very repetitive. But now the Overton window has moved that much that people can talk about this stuff again. Although in Starmer's Britain, I'd be a little bit careful.
Yeah, well careful in Britain. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. The window's properly shifted. Like normies, and they're all noticing. They're all daring to say things now. It's really refreshing.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of. I still think it's got a long way to go downhill before it starts crawling back up. But it's better.
I agree.
Better than feeling like a dirty corner of the internet. I'll tell you what. I've always liked Sargon. I've always liked him. I think he went through a bit of a weird phase when he stood for an MP, and I think the fame got to him a little bit. But I'll tell you what. I've been watching the Lotus Eaters recently. I say recently, like the last few months. They're good shows. I find them interesting shows, and I don't really watch a lot of that sort of stuff anymore.
I didn't think you'd be watching. Sorry, go on, Packer, mate.
No, I'm just saying I watched one this week. It was really good. I can't actually remember what it's about now, but it was really good. I thought it was quite engaging.
I've never watched them, and Sargoy's never from when he first started. I thought, who's this dickhead? He's never appealed to me.
There's something immediately unpleasant about his voice, but he can't help that. And a lot of people have said that to me. I've tried to years ago, I tried to turn them on to him when it all sort of the social justice warrior thing sort of exploded, and I always forget it. I always forget the cynic critic community. I don't know. But that Lotus Eaters is They do some interesting stuff. Some of it is just a bit. I don't need to hear about all these murders and R words and people. You know,
I can't stand all that. You know, we were talking about that years ago.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to keep hearing about it today, because what are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do nothing, are you? Let's talk about things we can change. And
absolutely. And I do think, you know, if you are active, if you're actually doing something, then fair play to you, you know, forming a community, you know, trying to form a party, an organisation, trying to educate or whatever. But if you're just sitting at home watching miserable blackpilling videos, I think you'd be better off being an example of someone who's making their life work, because the younger people of England need to see native British doing well, you know, because there's not going to be so many of them.
That's what they need. They ain't got no role models, none at all.
Yeah.
I posted it yesterday. It was on BBC News the other night. A whole feature about it. A whole black people working because we need to have black emojis, because we don't see ourselves in emojis.
Hang on, you're going to have to explain that. I don't even know what it means.
You know what an emoji is, don't you? A smiley face.
Yeah. That one the bit that confused me. Go on.
Yeah. There's now a group, like a charitable group, that are working to push all media to have black people emojis that look like black people.
They've got so they're not just, because we've already got the different tones. It used to be the Simpsons.
No. They want them to look like black people with afro hair.
Okay, suggesting that maybe all white people have got round heads and 2 dots for eyes.
I mean, all the emojis I look at are yellow.
Yeah, Simpsons yellow, isn't it?
And
I wouldn't put it. You should have, Sark. Thank you, mate, for saying that. I would have come and met you for a cup of tea if you'd have wanted to. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. It is really nice out here, isn't it? Nice one, Sarky. Hello,
Lucky.
Linda, darling. Yeah. So hang on. So what are we talking about, John? Your cat. How long have you had it?
18 years. 18 years. Yeah.
I'm guessing that's quite long for a cat, but I don't know.
Yes, they only live up to 18 to 20. Like 18's like a really old age. But I mean, I got her just after I left the Navy. I got her as a tiny little kitten, and she's been my best friend all that time.
It's a long time to become very familiar and very part of your life. That's 2 decades, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah. So
cool that. Mercy and Supremacy, you're quite right. It isn't just blackpilling stories. The ones I've been enjoying is what they've been talking about, the US election and Kamala's gaffes she's been doing. And she's certainly been doing them. It's ridiculous. Kai Stevens says Chris prefers the emojis to be yellow. Good Phil, son. We had a little chat later. He's got a lot to celebrate. That's very good. I'm a one-woman man. It miraculously just changed for me, and I absolutely love it. Finally grew up. Finally matured. Just had to wait for my time to come. Well, I needed a bird who was happy to cook and clean up. That's really what it was about.
Are you happy? Are you happy now? Like, mate, total happiness.
I have never known a love like it. I mean that. I absolutely mean. I'm not taking anything away. My first missus there's always a place in my heart for her because it's your first love. But I was very young, so you don't. Oh, that's very encouraging. Been talking for 46 minutes. Mouse Cat drops in 20 quid. Bless you. He says, evening, Chris and Scrubs. Mouse Cat. Right to that, son. Lovely. See how easy it is, people? I'll leave it on the screen. It's an orange one. I've never. I mean, I think it's just. I'm now thinking of Gail, who I was with for 11 years, but we were junkies, so you're gonna struggle in a way in that sort of thing. But this bird, I've just never. I think different people have different lives, and there were things I wanted to do, and I didn't want to be held down. I didn't have a family, but when it got to the age when I did, she kind of come along at the right time. And I said to her yesterday, I said, I just wish I'd have met you like 20, 30 years ago. No, I said to her, I wish I'd have met you 20 years ago. And she said, what? I'd have been 5. I said, not like that. I said, it's just going to be sad, isn't it? Because I'm going to.
Oh, that's so being clipped.
And I'd never say something like that to her. I don't worry about things that haven't happened yet, but there's going to be some time. There's going to be some time. Hang on, mate. Just let me finish this. There's going to be a time when I'm going to be on a bed or in hospital, and I'm going to have to look at her. She's going to be about 40, 45 at best, and I'm going to have to say goodbye to her. And she's like, that's not even middle-aged, because they reckon people her age are going to live till they're 90, 95, don't they? And it breaks me heart. And ever the wise one, she said, well, better than nothing, eh? And I was like, come here, you. And I'll give it to her big and quick and hard.
She does sound very mature for her age, like.
I think it's just the life she's had, the things she's had to do to, raise money, the things she's had to do as a kid. She just.
I mean, not a lot of the girls her age like that, though.
I think the average birth rate of a Khmer province girl is 5.1, and that's usually before they're like 22, 23. They pump them out. The thing is, they've had such hard lives. Even in the provinces, her dad was killed. Her mum lived through the Khmer Rouge. Her grandmother lost something like 11 siblings in the Khmer Rouge. She had to watch her mum sell one of her daughters. The people coming around the provinces to cut all their hair off and give them a few dollars for their hair. Imagine being a young girl and having all your hair cut off. She said that all girls used to sprint off into the fucking jungles when they come along because they love their beautiful long hair, and it would be, taken down to like a number 2. And but so they're so grateful for the smallest of things. Regular food is like, for a province girl or province family, that's like a luxury to it. They have eggs and that, and they grow things in their garden. But for me,
you talk about like the meats and things like that.
Yeah, just take her to a restaurant, and not even like a flashy one, just somewhere where she likes the occasional meatballs and spaghetti. And when I start complaining to her about like money or something, she can't understand it because like I've got a job, I've got a business. The average daily wage out here for a young Cambodian girl is $5, and that's a 10-hour shift, John, with like 30 minutes to eat a bowl of rice halfway through. What? £6 a day.
It's like Victorian age, isn't it? I suppose for the working classes.
Yeah, they're So I just think that what I would call hard times, it's just water off a duck's back for her and most Cambodians.
Yeah.
Cambodia is currently the fastest growing economy it's called the ASEAN. Let me just find out what it stands for, actually.
I see that Bald and Bankrupt was in your manor, wasn't he, the other week?
The Iconoclast sent me that, and I'd already watched it. I've never seen it before, but obviously YouTube had sent it to me because, I watch Cambodian stuff. Yeah, he was, and he seemed to enjoy it. It was quite funny. John, did you see him when he asked someone, he was going, water, drink, and they didn't know what he was talking about, and he went, Bakari sweat. And
As soon as he said that, I thought of you.
Yeah, I thought if any of the scrubs are watching that, if they remember the old Bakari sweat. Right, ASEAN is the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So you're looking at there's 11 of them. So Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Brunei, Thailand, Myanmar, the Philippines, Cambodia, Singapore, and Malaysia. And Cambodia's got the fastest growing economy out of all of them. You wouldn't have thought it, would you? So this bit of land and this little property we're looking at, I mean, we're looking at like 15 grand or something. But we know our countries develop. So in 20 years' time, when I'm on my deathbed, that little province might have become a town. And that 10 to 15 grand bit of land and a property, that might be worth 4 or 5 times that, and so that'd be nice for her. The thing
the
that
chances of it being worth less are slim to none, don't they?
Say it again, son.
The chances of it being worth less are slim to none. The
only thing that could happen is something like a leather factory is built just across the road or something, and the old place is, all day long you've got squealing pigs and the smell of leather, tanning leather. But
that should be set up. If you get a plot of land and get an house on it, that's generations set up then, because it's only going to get bigger, Cambodia now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it does upset me a little bit. Like when I first came where I live now, there was no blacktop on any of the road. Well, on the main roads, I say main roads, they're one way and one the other. But all around this back bit, it was all dirt and the dirt tracks and that. And it's now all blacktop, and like you wanted to get some food, it was all Cambodian food, little stalls and that. And now there's like a bagel shop and there's like a restaurant that does all like fancy stuff. And I get it, and it's good for Cambodia because it's employment and it's money.
Bagels, you say?
Yes, just don't. Just before I said that, I thought, don't give him an excuse. I tell you what, though, I didn't get them. I go in there and I go, "Som nom moi," and she goes, "Huh?" I go, "Som nom moi." That's please one cake. And then she knows I have the same thing every day. I get the old French toast. So she puts an egg in, bit of sugar, bit of cinnamon, fries the bagel in it, puts it together. $1.50. Lovely. But
it sounds good.
I have to understand that it's not a museum, it's not a zoo, it's not here for me. I can't say, "Oi, can you lot stop developing your country because I liked it when it was a little bit rough and ready." I can't say. But moving to the provinces and where we're going is way out of the way. I can't see that being anything like Phnom Penh for like 50, 60, 70 years, It'll be like having a city on Dartmoor.
It sounds amazing. I'm always so envious of where you are. It just sounds mate, I would have loved to gone down there and parked up there. My missus won't have it though.
For what reasons? Just doesn't like living
She won't go anywhere where they eat dogs.
They haven't eaten dogs here. Well, they do, but they do, but so would you if you were starving. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah. I keep saying they're eating them here.
Yeah,
They're eating them in all the cities here.
Well, they're eating them in America. Don't you see Trump the other week? They're eating the
Yeah,
dog.
yeah.
But the old myth, they did used to in restaurants and that, but you don't go to a restaurant now and see dog on the menu. You know.
No, of course you don't. Of course you don't. She's very she's a picky girl. She likes everything all clean and.
You'll be surprised. Maybe get an holiday because Phnom Penh's about 100 times cleaner than London. London's a fucking shithole.
Yeah. Every time I see it, it's not a bit of litter on the streets. It's clean. I mean, we're gonna have to go there now.
There are areas that are a bit behind the times, and you have got the shanties and the slums, but that's because there's no welfare. But what they've done is they've built themselves little houses. They're still pumping out kids in those little shanties. My girlfriend's sister had a kid. She's 45, I think. She's already got 4. She's had another one. Lovely little girl, Lisa, and she just sits there going. And that's why the country's 98 Khmer, Buddhist Khmer. And just I stayed at my missus's last night, and I know all the people that live around near where she lives, and it's they all know each other. They've all got there's a place where you can park your motorbike so that they'll take it in if it's raining, and you can just leave it, and there's people looking after them, so no method. There's the hairdresser. There's a couple of stalls selling food. There's one that sells soup. There's all the people who live there. The old tuk-tuk driver who talks to me about the Pol Pot time and all that. And we come out of her house this morning. We've gone down the steps, and there's this old woman who used to be married to an Englishman, so she loves me. Her name's Linda, and I'm like, is that she says. And I know it ain't. Of course it ain't. She just she probably had a Khmer name, something like Leah or something, and her Bahrain boyfriend couldn't get his head around it, so it became Leah. But I walked past her for about a year, and I'd talk to her in Khmer and just say, hello, how are you, in Khmer. And then the other week I've stepped down, and she went in perfect English. She said, have you been to see your wife? Like my girlfriend tells everyone we're married. She goes, have you been to see your wife? I said, yeah. She said, oh, you look very healthy now. I was a bit worried about you a few weeks back. And I was thinking, what the fuck is... I said, how do you speak English? And all her eyes went doughy, and she was like, years ago, I was married to an Englishman, and unfortunately he died. And she said, these are all his kids in here. And I've looked in, there's about 7 of them in this kind of crowd. But walking down, then I see the bloke who sharpens knives. He's got a little stone with pedals. They'll sharpen a knife for $1. Then and they all know me. They all say hello to me. Mr. Sal, the tuk-tuk driver, he knows I'm going to want taking home. And the weird thing was, we talk about the loss of communities in England, but it's been so long, you almost forget what it's like. It's a community is a beautiful thing. To just walk out of her house, a minute and a half max from her house to Mr. Sal's tuk-tuk, I must have been said hello to or said hello to 12, 13 people. And it just makes you feel part of
amazing.
Yourself. Yeah.
Amazing. You're right, 100%. In the West, we've forgotten what community is. We've forgotten what it's like. Totally forgotten. I mean, I don't think anyone can remember a time when you could leave your doors on, your car doors unlocked, or leave your bike in the garden, or
That's 70s, wasn't it? 70s, maybe early 80s. Oi, Packer, what's that message? That's a bit cryptic.
No, it is the whole message. Telford Tees, just put in the chat.
Well, hang on, I'll find it and surprise everyone. Is that why you put a timestamp on it?
No, I just copied the whole thing and slung it in there.
All right, it's a very bizarre one. Sorry to interrupt you there, John, but these days when I go to England, well, when I went to England when my mother died, you know, people don't even know their neighbours' names. There you go, Tej. Tell Linda I love her. Everyone loves Linda, darling. Love her, long time. Oh, you mean Linda? I thought you meant Linda, Scrub Linda. You're talking about Linda downstairs from her missus. I'll tell you what, it was lovely, though, just seeing her. She went all gooey, like, thinking back. And I thought she said he was a lot older than her. And I thought, when she sees me and my missus, she probably is reminded of it all. But, you know, she'll come up. Me and my missus will be in my missus' house. There'll be a little knock at the door and she'll just have like a bowl of food that she's made. And there's too much for her family. So she just gives it to us. Like nice, traditional Cambodian cooking. And my missus sometimes drops her stuff off. And I remember when my mother used to do that with her neighbours. If you made a bit too much casserole or something.
Yeah.
And my neighbour, who was 93 when she died, and she lived there all the time I was there, she used to bring the old bread and dripping round from her dad.
Oh.
You like it, do you, John?
Oh, dear, yeah.
Oh, I can't. It would be the first time I didn't have to, but I've walked out my house and she went, "Oh, Chrissy, hang on, I've got something for your dad." She's brought this sort of like ceramic bowl out and it's just white. And I thought, what the fuck's that? So I brought it in and I've gone, "Dad, this is for you." And he went, and he's licked his lips. He's gone, "Oh, lovely." I've gone, "What is it?" He went, "Can you get a bit of that bread?" No, it weren't a nice baguette. It was your old mother's pride slice. Oh, fuck. I defrosted a bit of bread earlier. You're going to have to witness me eating. Sorry. I'll only do it while other people are talking, but I haven't eaten all day and it's 1 o'clock in the morning here.
Just eat.
And it'd stick it on this like lard, which I found out it was just animal fat, about an inch of it. And then all that muck underneath, and my old man just went like that, and he was like, "Oh, that's special." That is.
Yeah, both my parents and yours as well probably grew up on that. That was like their treat, I suppose.
It's covered in ants, John.
Oh, mate.
They're
all right. They're protein, aren't they?
The bastards.
I thought he was going to eat the ants.
Yeah. I've had a lamb burger today. That's all I've had.
An hamburger?
Yeah. Mama, she's made lamb burgers last night.
Oh, lamb burger.
Yeah. Minced lamb,
Dude, just eat what? I can't get my head around. You only eat meat. I can't get my head around it. Well, so give me a menu for a typical week.
Packer gets this every time.
I'll eat. One night we'll eat lamb burgers, all right? One night we'll eat beef burgers. One night we'll eat pork steaks. One night we'll eat steaks. And so it goes
just
on.
Just a burger on its own. No roll.
I'll eat 5 or 6 burgers. I'll have cheese on them if I want. If they're pork burgers, I'll have brown sauce.
That's it. Just a burger. No chips. No chips. No roll.
No, just enough meat to fill me up.
Mate, I'd be sitting there eating meat all night.
Wouldn't.
You
wouldn't. I challenge you. You wouldn't. You get full. You get full quicker. You eat less.
No, mate. I need my bread. I need me bread.
You don't. Seriously, don't. Your body
How do you eat sausage rolls then if you don't have?
But just have sausage. Sometimes I will sneak a sausage roll, but generally, even if it is a sausage roll, I'll just peel the pastry off.
What do you have for breakfast?
I don't have any breakfast because I'm not hungry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have to? Was there a period where you did feel the hunger of not having carbs in your diet?
Yes, there's a short period. Mine lasted a few days where I had an upset stomach, I craved sugar, and I felt shit.
Because the thing, all nations have a carb, don't they? Potatoes, rice, pasta, bread. And
Yeah,
the
I don't
thing
know if I could do that, potatoes and bread.
Well, the thing with me is, like yesterday, I had a teriyaki chicken salad, right? And it was lovely. I took the missus out for dinner. It was lovely. And like $5. Hers was about, what did she have? She had spaghetti. And I think it was about $12 for like a teriyaki chicken salad, spaghetti and meatballs, and 2 mango smoothies, which is just pure mango, like liquidized. Amazing, with the river, with the Mekong out in front of you. Anyway,
stop it.
But here's the thing, John. I halfway through eating it, I thought, yeah, I know what I need, and I've called the waiter over and I said, can I have a bread basket? I knew that, and some butter, and because I knew that if I left without, and I know it's stuffing yourself full of carbs that are just going to turn into sugar, and but I'd have been hungry, and I didn't want to go out later. Packer, I trust you because I've asked you a lot about this, and you don't get hungry, do you? You eat your meat
until you're not hungry.
But I do worry about
eating meat when you're still hungry. And Almac asked in the chat, and yes, I eat eggs. I eat as many eggs as I want.
It's all animal products, so you can have like cheese, milk, and eggs and all that. I do eat a lot of eggs.
If I'm just hungry and I fancy something quick to eat, I'll scramble up like 6 eggs and just eat that. I'll generally eat twice a day within a 6-8 hour period, and then I'm not hungry.
I must admit, Packer, I went through a period when I was bulking up. It got all a bit silly in the end. I ain't anywhere like that anymore. None of my clothes fitted. I thought, I can't do this. But I went through a period of eating steak and scrambled eggs, and I must admit, it done the job. I didn't need like a slice of bread, although I occasionally went for one. I did occasionally go, I got just one. I want to catch up on a couple of super chats. Sorry, people. Hands dropped to Lady. Hello. How do you say that? Hello, Scrubs. John, your cat would thank you for the amazing life you provided her. If she could speak, hang on, sorry. Your cat would thank you for the amazing life you provided her or him if she could speak. Keep strong, bro. Tough times. Nice one, Anne.
Oh, thank you, Annes. Thank you.
LC350 drops a Lady Godiva. He hasn't got time to write any messages. He's too busy picking locks. The bloke is gone. I love it. Love it. Oh, and another one's just dropped in. Here he is. Sent him his message. Evening, Chris. JP Packer. Evening, folks. Hello, Anglo. Now that Anglo, that was an hour notification. I think that's a new record. Nice to have you here. You may have just turned up, or you may have just made a donation, but weirdly we're talking about meat. And you
I was just going to say that, yeah. You heard you talking about meat.
He's just done 5 days at work. Sit down, have a rest. Well, what about meat? Thank you, Anglo. Thank you, LC350, and thank you, Hands. Lovely. I'll just check the entropies. What's that? That sounds like someone far too young for my channel. Here we go. Hang on, who's that? Is that? I don't want to say your first name, love, because you'll be well doxed. Look,
I'm
wait,
back.
look into the camera.
I'm back.
Hang on, we do it like that. So, there you go. I want to know. So, people, this is Packer's other half. She was the first
Hello.
partner to feature on a thumbnail, if I remember rightly. So, when I said to Packer, I said, your missus has got the link. If you want to join us, he went, nah, she's on a bus coming back from the hospital. She's blind.
Yeah, I had eye drops in my eyes, and it makes
Do you want to talk about that, or do you not want to talk about that?
I get a condition called uveitis, which is inflammation of the
I
iris.
don't want to say your first name. I'm going to call you R. Can you move over a little bit to your right? There you go. Perfect. Go on.
Or I get a condition called uveitis. It's inflammation of my iris.
So I'm thinking vitis, Latus will probably know this, is something to do with eyes, because conjunctivitis is an eye. Oh, look, she's moving the camera manually now. Look, she's better at this than Packer. Did you see that, JP? You take him half hour to do that. Hello, Leon.
Yeah.
Hello, Willow.
Like a professional.
So yeah, I've never seen it. It was like she had like panning. It went. Wah. So is it sort of a condition you have, and you have to go to the hospital and have it checked out and all that?
Yeah, when it flares up, I have to go to the eye clinic to get proper drops.
Does it flare up when the old man gives you a clout for not tidying up?
No, it's just an immune issue.
Oi, people, imagine that they did actually have domestic violence and I made that joke. How awkward would that be? It's really weird now. So is it progressive? All right, Packer, sorry, mate.
I've got the all clear today until it flares up again.
And how often does it flare up? Like,
it was a year since last time.
Wow. Yeah, is that something you do? Because it looks to me like you're occasionally sort of going like that. Is that just because you're on a stream, or is it because you've had treatment?
Because I had treatment, my pupils are going back to normal.
Oh, really? So they're sort of dilated at the moment, and they're calming down. Is everything a bit bright?
Yeah, a bit bright.
First time,
Packer's
front room that things have been bright. You don't get that joke. It's because he's always got his curtains closed. Do you like having your curtains closed all the time?
It doesn't bother me.
Does he make that decision?
No.
Do you make it?
It's a joint decision.
Did you sit down once together and say, right, on the today's agenda, right, curtains, close the
No. We haven't. We've got two more important.
What's going on in your life? You've been promoted, I heard.
I'm manager of the kitchen at the moment, yes.
Is that like top dog?
Yeah, near enough.
Is that something that you like, or is it taking you out of the more social aspect of the kitchen?
It's now a new company, and of course the old company had to leave because the school wanted to take over the kitchen. So then we got moved over to the school.
So is it a little bit? I don't say too much. I don't want you to get yourself in trouble here, but when my father died, my mother went back to work, and she worked in the canteen where he was doing some bricklaying. Weirdly, they kind of helped her out. But it was all nice when my mum and her friends made all the foods. They'd make the lasagnas in the big tins. Or you know all that, like, didn't you? You know, she was making food for about 50 people. I mean, I bet your school's a bit bigger than that.
200.
Then, sorry?
200.
Yeah, significantly more. But then this company, I think they were called Compass, they come along and suddenly it was regulations, rules, wear this uniform, wear this, that, do this, you've got to go on this training course, you're getting paid less. And in the end, that company lost their canteen. People had to go out to the local sort of chippy or whatever. Do you have any worry that thing sort of will happen, or is it do you feel quite stable there with this new company taking over?
It's strict, but it's stable.
That sounded quite sensual. Do you think you could send me that on an MP3? Just keep saying it. Sorry, everyone. Can you anything you want to share with us?
No, I just want to say hello and say I was back from my journey.
Yeah, I was a bit worried when you said you were on a bus and that you were blind. I thought that was a bit, when it flares up, do you go blind though?
No, it gets very sensitive to light.
Sorry?
It's sensitive to light, and you get bad pain all down my jaw in the teeth.
Like when I had my sinusitis, I had toothache, earache. When I touched my cheek, it hurt, and my eyes watered. Yeah, okay. Is it sinus related at all?
No, it's gene related.
It's what?
Gene related.
Oh, really? What, you had? Your parents had it?
No, they found out I've got carry a gene.
Hang on a minute, John, is that your thing feeding back?
I think it's Packers. Let me mute it again. Hang on.
If you're muted, say something, R. You can talk, R. Hello, Packers missus.
Oh, hello.
No, it's you, John.
Shit.
I think it's Packer. But it seems to have gone now, John. Just turn YouTube off, John.
Yeah, YouTube's not open. I'll mute it while I'm not talking. That should cancel it.
Yeah, all right, no problem. All right. Well, lovely to see you, young lady. I hope your eyes clear up, and I hope. Did they give you more money for taking on the manager's gig?
They will do, yes.
So you are the manager of a school kitchen. Packer looks after the old. You look after the young people. Packer looks after the old people. There's something mysterious going on. Your boy's going to end up looking after middle-aged people, and then you're going to tick all three boxes. You might be the saviours of the few. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. It's been a long week.
I'll pass you back to Packer.
Before you pass me back to Packer, do you put any colour in your hair?
Yes.
You could have lied. I would have accepted it.
And have you got a tongue stud? I thought I could see something.
Dirty bitch. Nice to see you, love.
She ain't come on again for a while now, is she?
I'll tell you what, there's some secrets in your house I don't know if I want to know about. Did you see JP blame you without even testing it? I said, who's that? I think it's Packer. No, he just come out of it. So, do you have any recurring illnesses, Packer? Do you have anything that comes up like that? Like I have migraines, don't I, and headaches?
No.
There you go.
No, not really.
JP, got anything? Got anything that's...
Yeah,
don't get that syphilis or anything.
No, just eating.
I used to have a lot of ailments before I started my diet, but I don't now. What the?
Did you really?
Yeah. I used to have a constant heartburn. I had a dodgy knee, 2 dodgy hips.
Wait, eating only meat has sorted out your knee and your hip?
Yeah.
Fuck! How's it done that, man?
I mean,
Because
Packer,
of what I'm not eating.
Packer, I totally trust you, but it does sound
I trust him, but Jesus Christ, man.
I know, I'm doing it for effect. It's because of what I'm not eating, all right? Vegetable oils really fuck up your joints. That is what actually led me to this diet.
Oh,
because
really?
my
We've got
joints
the
was
origin
hurting.
story.
Eh?
We've got the origin story.
Yeah, my joints was hurting, and being a sensible
No, Packer,
adult.
talk slower and longer. I've still got half a sandwich to get through.
So my joints was hurting, and being the sensible adult man that I am, rather than going to the doctor, I started researching on the internet.
Looking on the
right?
internet.
Yeah. And I came across
me and Mumford call it Dr. Self.
yeah, I've come across Michaela Peterson, who, because Jordan Peterson pops up everywhere, and obviously at some point I have watched a lot of Jordan Peterson, and it's kind of connected, yada yada. So she pops up. She only eats beef and drinks water, and that's it.
Saw that.
And she had issues with joints where she had arthritis when she was a teenager. She's had joints replaced. She's got all kinds of immune issues and shit, and all she eats is beef, and she's fine, normal life now.
And then Jordan copied her, didn't he? Because he had problems, and he reckons his have all cleared up.
Yep. It's absolutely bizarre. There's a channel. I can't think of his fucking name. I've been on it.
Walking.
I've been on it. It's a bloke in Japan. He's I don't know how long he's lived out there, but he just has people on that are on the diet, and they go through how they found it and how it's helped them. And he's got hundreds of videos. But do all the research.
It's amazing, isn't it? All these things that we probably knew like thousands of years ago.
We did, yeah, because that's what we ate.
Amazing.
So like you're supposed to eat fatty meat. You're supposed to eat it.
But the thing, I'm obviously no nutritionist, and I don't know much about the human body, but I have read. So I'm not. You've told me plenty of times, Packer, that it's working for you, and I'll take your word for it. And props to you. But I heard someone else say that it's not as simple as saying we should eat that, because people who grow up in different environments need different things.
Yeah, I'll go along with that 100%. 100%, I'll go along with that.
And also, people say that our teeth, they're majority molars, and meat-eating animals. I mean, I'm not arguing for the sake of it, but meat-eating animals they tend to have incisors, don't they, to tear that stuff up. We've only got like 4, but that, I don't know, that could be some evolutionary thing.
Yeah, that is just our teeth. I mean, there's lots of evolutionary things about us that stand us apart from everything else.
My massive willy.
There's that.
We've all got them. We're white.
We're the only living species that can throw something over arm.
I think that's the most boring thing that's ever been said on this stream. Packer, don't take it the wrong way. That's a compliment. 12 years of chat. There's a word for that in Khmer. It's called bow. So if you're going to wash your clothes, you say Knyom bao k'ao. Knyom is I. You don't need a verb. You don't need I am or I'm going to or I will. You can, but no one does. They're so lazy. Well, they're not. It's just easier. Knyom I bao k'ao. Now bow is that movement, and it comes from when they used to whack their clothes against the rocks down at the river, So that's bow. Cow is trousers. No, ow is trousers, and cow is shirt. So when you say Knyom bao k'ao, you're saying I'm gonna wash shirts and trousers. But you are allowed to put pants and crameurs in there as well. It's not strict washing machine diet that you can only feed it trousers and shirts.
I'm just trying to picture a monkey or an ape trying to do a bowl.
A bowl?
Yeah, a bowl. A bowl.
I get your argument that we for maybe the stuff that we've been eating for tens of thousands of years. that we've been cultivating food. But not for the shit, most of the shit that you buy in the supermarket that's only 150 years old.
I mean,
We're not
I
trying to
don't,
eat that one.
I don't remember either of us bringing that argument up. That was really weird. I was thinking, who said
You were just
that?
making the argument that we're not designed to just eat meat.
Oh, no, I'm not sure either way, but I'm only questioning it out of interest, really. But can I just, because I've dragged you across this particular concrete many times, Packer. John, did you say you have a bit of a problem with sweets?
I can't stop eating them.
Yeah, I've got a bit.
I'm like that with everything, though. I was like that with the beer. I can't do things in little bits. You know what I mean? I have to. If I'm going to do something, I've got to go all the way. If I'm going to have a beer, I've got to get monster drunk, mate. If I have a couple of sweets, I've got to eat loads of sweets.
Yeah, this is the interesting thing. Like when, at Christmas or whatever, my mother would get a box of milk tray, and in our house, that was like fucking hell. You know, there is a Father Christmas.
Oh,
but
sweet.
As soon as I had one of them, if no one else started, I'd eat them all. And I knew I'd get in so much trouble, but I couldn't stop. I couldn't. Well, I could, but I chose not to. I just one after the other. Even when the coconut and the coffee ones were the last two. It's sweet, it's sugar. Just
still got to have them. Yeah, I'm very much the same. If they're not there, I ain't bothered. But if they're there, I've got to eat them all. Fill my mouth full of them and eat them all.
John, if you're doing a bit of shopping for like the evening's dinner, like once a decade or whatever, will you buy like a big pack of Haribo or like a bar of family-sized chocolate or something? Or do you?
Yeah, I'll get all the biscuits. I'll get packets of sweets. Everything. I'll go, I fancy them. Oh, I'll have some of that. I'll get 3 packs of them just in case.
Will you really? But if you get 3 packs of sweets, won't you do them in one sitting? Because I probably would.
No, because I'll have 1 packet and I'll probably have some biscuits after that.
Fucking, I mean, I can really identify with that. Like, I'm really into marshmallows, and they sell a pack out here. It's like a family pack, and I go, I'll just have a couple, and I'll leave the bag. I've got a little seat here that I sometimes put my feet up on when I'm watching.
I know you ain't. Leave the bag over there, and you just can't. They're there. You say, I'll just have another one. I'll just have another one. Yeah.
And then I think I'll put it in the fridge, because you can't leave it out. It will be covered in ants. And I'll tell you what, I've rinsed the ants off of marshmallows before. I can't throw them away. They're the only sweets in the house. And then I'm eating wet ant-eaten marshmallows, still loving them. But
could you not roast them? Could you not toast the marshmallows with the ants on?
Done that. But the problem with doing that is it's so delicious. I've driven back to Super. I've gone to Super Duper 4 o'clock in the morning. Got the sticks as well. Put 2 on at a time over the gas cooker, and when that crusty burnt bit sort of slides off mate, and then you've got that little spunky bit in the middle. I'm like, and then I've done the whole pack, right? And it's got to be 250 grams of sugar. And then I've sat there thinking they were fucking lovely. And then I know it. I know that I'll be back on that motorbike in 10 minutes. It's just a question of getting dressed, because obviously I'm sitting in a fucking skirt. And then I'm driving to the supermarket. It's getting light. People are starting their days. I'm going out to score another bag of marshmallows.
I reckon every bloke in the chat, possibly girl as well, about our age, because when we grew up, sweets and pop weren't what they are now, and we didn't get them like they do now, did we?
No, God no.
Right. Hands up who had the spoon in the bag of sugar in the cupboard when no one was looking.
I've never done that. One in the chat if you spoon sugar into your mouth. But what
When
we
you was a
did
kid.
do as kids was golden syrup sandwiches, slice of bread, golden syrup, which I think is just hydrogenated sugar, isn't it? It's just they've just boiled sugar. It's just sugar, and then just put it in a sandwich. And my mum thought that, like, if you were hungry, my mum would go, have a sandwich, open the fridge, fuck all in there, and it's like, what then? And she'll go, there's loads of stuff, pickle,
Sugar sandwiches.
salad cream.
Used to have sugar sandwiches, mate. Oh.
Well, like I say, I've had the golden syrup, but not straight sugar, not that I can remember. Isn't it funny? Like when someone told me my missus, sisters, aunties, brothers, we've got to go to some kid's birthday party on Sunday, only for a couple of hours, and she said this is going to end up costing a fortune. She said the 2 kids' birthdays, and she said that they'll get $20 each. Then the tuk-tuk up to the restaurant, then the tuk-tuk back. I went, whoa. $20 to a 4-year-old. And she went, yeah, that's it's their birthdays. Now they've got a Barang father, so they've got used to it. They've got a European father. But I said, when I was 4, for my birthday, I'd get £1, like £1.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And what makes it weirder, I didn't think, I've got £1, I can buy a toy or something. No, I bought food. I remember I bought a pack of biscuits because I was hungry.
Yeah. A can of Coke and a Mars bar or something.
Yeah. Happy birthday. I remember once I got my £1. Me and my brother cottoned on that other kids were getting pocket money. Now we were about 10 at this age. My brother's 2 years older than me, so he must have been about 11. I was about 9. And I think my cousins come over, and we found out that they got £1 every fortnight pocket money. This is about, I don't know, I can work it out actually, about 1981. And when I got my first £1 pocket money, so reluctant, my dad actually handed over £1. And I was like, there's a note as well. I don't think we had the coins at the time. And I went straight around the greengrocers and I bought myself, I said, give me £1 worth of tangerines. And he gave them to me. And I went and sat in a phone box that smelled a little bit of wee-wee like they did in the good old days. One after the other, thinking, because, there was like one tangerine a year in my house at Christmas, maybe. So to have like 4 or 5 in a bag, and I'm eating them one after the other, and I sat there and I started feeling a bit woozy. And I just went, whoa! I haven't had a tangerine since. Can't do tangerines, can't do clementines, can't do satsumas. There's one in that weird. There's so many. They're all really the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oi, in the chat. Hello, Steve Cray. Nice to see you. Hello, Neil Christie. Nice to see you. Special K on acids on the firm. Do you reckon you could identify the differences? Let me know in the chat as well. Hello, Pizzle. Hello, Al. Let me know in the chat. Could you?
Some of them have got really loose skins, haven't they?
I think that's the Satsuma.
Steady.
Right, hang on. So what are they? Satsuma, tangerine, clementine. Let's not forget that bad boy. Even
they're all oranges to me. To be honest, they're all oranges. They're big oranges, little oranges, and they've all got pips in there lately. I've noticed. I don't like pips in.
Someone was just saying about food these days. I'm a Satsuma man, Toffee, because you can stick your finger in it and take the peel off in one hit and then just chuck the whole thing in the mouth. What's that, Packer?
You not say mandarin?
I didn't say mandarin. Your missus dropped that in, didn't she? I could tell by you turning your head.
Yeah.
Mandolin, that's like a guitar, isn't it?
No, mandarin.
Oh, Mandarin.
Well, yeah, it's more like a piano.
That Mandarin is a Chinese language, so saying mandolin is, we can have. I think we can accept that answer, young John. Hello, Raisin Sack. Spanish chickens on the firm. James is in. James has put a clip of Packer falling. Hang on, I don't know what's going on here.
I got up and my foot was wrapped around the cable.
How did
I got
I
up
miss
to go
that?
and unlock the front door for my wife, and my foot
Hang
was
on,
wrapped
when
around
what?
the
On a
cable.
different stream is this?
How about when did you do?
Was I making a sandwich or something?
I don't know, mate.
Was I washing up?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know what you were doing. I was looking at the carpet.
What we're talking about here. All right, John, I'm gonna let you go. See if we can get someone else in. Hello, Fitzy Kaza. When we can't, John, I'll get you. Actually, while I go and have a whittle, you and Packer can have a little chat.
All right, bruv.
If you're up for that, of course. No,
whatever. I love talking to Packer.
He don't say anything, does he? Perfect conversation.
I want to know more about your diet. Honestly, I'm not taking a piss. I really want to know about this meat thing, because I can't get round my head about only eating meat. I can't get my head round it.
I know it is very strange, okay, but if you just do it, the rules are if it comes from an animal, you can eat it. So you can eat pork and lamb and beef and venison and cheese and eggs and milk, right? And butter.
What are you going to have butter with, though, if you've got no bread?
Cook it in it. Oh, no. Steak cooked in butter. Oh, that sounds awful, doesn't it?
No, it don't actually. It sounds actually quite appetising.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Eggs scrambled in butter.
Proper butter, or like, I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, it's got to be proper butter. It has to be.
I can't believe it's not butter.
No, because that will be. I can't believe I've got arthritis when I'm not even 60.
Oh, that's because it's got all the oils in it, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. So vegetable oils were invented to oil farm machinery.
Yeah.
That don't sound too tempting, does
I see it today. This is
the origin of vegetable oil.
The Jeets in India cooking burgers in black car oil.
Nice.
I remember there was a time, got to be going back about 15 years now, and I don't know what they're called because I'm not a driver. You know where there's loads of traffic lights and going like a crossroads. And in Dartford, every crossroads smelt like a fish and chip shop where everyone was powering their motors on vegetable oil. And all the doers you likeys were coming out of Lidl with a trolley full of vegetable oil. They put a ban on it. You could only buy like 2 litres at a time. Oh, it was amazing. Is that illegal? Is it illegal? Right. I'm not a car or engine person. Although, if Andrew's in, Andrew, if you're lurking, brother, you recommended I watch Rush. Now, it ain't no Senna. Senna's a documentary, though, so it's not going to be. But I did enjoy it, I must admit. If you haven't seen it, people, it's not a classic. But if you're into like those motor racing films, it's pretty good. It's the story of James Hunt and Niki Lauda. I really enjoyed it, actually.
It's brilliant, but I like Formula One, but it is brilliant. And the guy who plays Niki Lauda does an outstanding job.
Yeah, like, am I watching Niki Lauda? They're ridiculous. What the other geezer is that Chris Hemmings?
It's one of them. Yeah, it's one of the two, the lesser of the two brothers, the lesser famous one.
So he doesn't play Thor?
No, I think he's the other one. I think he's the one who played James Kirk's dad in the first new Star Trek film.
You know what? I did feel, I mean, I don't know a lot about James Hunt, but they did make him out to be a bit of a spoiled rich kid, and that's it. You know, he wasn't cast. I didn't feel like he was cast in a good light at all. You know, they just were just rich, bought a Formula One car and drove it. Whereas Nicky Lauda had a passion for it, and you know, and I wonder how much of it is true. For people who don't know, Nicky Lauda had a terrible crash. He was trapped in his car for over a minute. And a Formula One car, especially in those days, and he even says it in the motor, you're essentially sitting on a bomb. You know, you've got all that, what is it, kerosene? Lord knows what they power them on.
Well, obviously, the fuel they were using back then, because you could put lights in it, was very, very flammable.
Yeah, probably like lighter fuel or something, you know, so refined, the top of the fractional distillation tower.
Aircraft fuel or whatever.
That would be kerosene. No, been there. But he was in it for a minute, and it weren't, when you see Nicky Lauda, like his ear, one of his ears is nearly off, but the other one's just flat into his head. But what the main damage was, breathing in all that fire and fumes and burning fumes for a minute. And they had to fucking put these metal rods into his lungs and like suck it all out. Yeah, good film though, actually. I mean, you got to be into Formula One, whereas I think Senna, the documentary, you haven't got to be into Formula One. I think Senna's just a great documentary. It's the
Rush film. They filmed some of the scenes at a track not far from where I live, because it's not been modernised for decades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It looks 70s when you're driving around it.
That's interesting, because obviously Dartford's just down the road from Brands Hatch. I used to work at Brands Hatch doing silver service waiting. I'd never been trained silver service. I was only 16. I went to the temping. I don't know if you lot done it, but when we all got to like 16 and found out about temping, we all went down there, lied on our CVs, and they'd ring you up the night before and go, do you want to clean for the telecom station up in Crayford? It's like £4 an hour. And you'd go, yeah, all right. And like suddenly you got a few quid in your pocket, you know, which you hadn't had before then. And one day I got a call, and it says here you can use your trained silver service. Now I wasn't even trained plate service, and I went, oh yeah. She said there's a gig on tomorrow at Brands Hatch, which is just up the road from Dartford. Silver service. And silver service, you're meant to serve from the left, take from the right. When you collect the plates, you're meant to be able to get 6 on one arm, and you put one right up on your shoulder, the one under it, and you scrape the food onto that one. Then one under that, scrape the food on. It's right. So I turn up there. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We're working in this huge marquee. It's right next to the track. It weren't a Formula One, but it was fast, loud cars. All the people in this marquee, there must have been about 150 of them. They've all got earbuds, but we didn't get any of them. Fuck me. And we done about 5 minutes, and there was this old bird. Well, I say old, she was probably about 40, but I was a kid, you know. And she come up to me, she went, fuck this. She said, she fancy coming outside for a drink. And I've gone, what? Like a bar? She said, no. She said, I've wiped one of the champagnes already. She was an alcoholic. So we've gone out, and she's nicked one of these like £200 bottles of champagne. She's opened it, and she's just done half it. So I've done some of it. We've gone back in there. But this time I'm just dropping things, fucking things up. Because I'm a young man, like a little bit cheeky in that, I'm getting away with it, but she ain't. And they complained, and we both got sent home and didn't get paid. And I had to walk from Brands Hatch back to fucking Dartford. Gutted, because it was double pay because it was a Sunday, and it was good pay because it was silver service. Didn't do much work after that.
The story I thought was going to end up with you back at her place, surely.
Yeah, I did. I was waiting for that.
No, so was I. Don't worry about that. When she sat down outside and her skirt rode up, and I see her stocking tops and those little straps, I thought, oh, here we go. This is game on. Nah, she was a rotten alcoholic. She drank half the bottle, like in pretty much 2 glugs, and then she just started getting angry, and I was like, this isn't. And it was because of her that I got chucked out. They just said, no, we don't want these people here. And I was like, I'm not these people. I'm all right. I weren't, though. I was shit-faced. Hang on. It would appear we've got another super chat. It's Anglo. Pleased to see. Was it you that recommended it, Anglo? It was you, wasn't it? Sorry, I thought it was Andrew. Yeah, enjoyed it. I finished watching it today, actually, earlier on. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's inspired me.
Mrs. tells me it was Chris Hemsworth.
I said Hemmings, didn't I? Hemsworth.
So it was Thor.
Thor, yeah. He's pretty good in it. But I thought him and all his mates were just like, proper sort of like public school boys, lovely big houses. Let's buy a fucking car and race it. I can't even do it. I haven't spent enough time with those sorts of people. But no, good
they were a bit, weren't they?
Well, I don't know.
They were a bit.
Thank you for that, Anglo. Appreciated. Scott Applin has gifted a Dangerfield membership. Someone has just become a member. Now, I say it every time. You've got in your YouTube profile, there's somewhere where it says you accept memberships. If you haven't got that set, like we've had that Alexander fella's been giving out 5s and 10 memberships, and if you haven't got that set, you don't get them. So, maybe have a look at that. Nice one, Scott. That's really appreciated. Very kind of you and you, Angelo. Right, I'll have a little look at HP while I'm here. Something's happening with HP. Those lads are... I'll have a quick refresh.
Once you have been gifted a membership, you could always keep it on if this is your kind of drivel.
Thanks.
Just saying.
No, it was actually, Johnny was doing a good thing. It was a cool bit of marketing there, but it went down a little bit at the end. But I think with a little bit of refinement, we have got a marketing genius in our midst. All right, John, let's see if we can get someone else to come on. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be young Barclay hovering over his computer waiting to press enter, but maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
John, lovely to talk to you. Listen, John, there's a few people doing Packer's diet in the scrubs. It's not just Packer. There's a few of them. So, I mean, I'm a little bit worried about my sugar intake. I weren't when I was younger, but like I was talking about earlier, wanting to have more time with my missus and possibly kids. I think I'll do half a litre of your probiotic yogurt a day. That sounds all right, but I'll do half a jar of honey in that. Now, it is Cambodian, like literally poured out of the hive. There's nothing else in it. Sometimes it comes in like a single-use.
Yeah, that's good natural stuff. Whereas I'll be eating goy slop.
Yeah, but I still think a lot of honey is still sugar in it. I don't think eating that much honey.
Sugar.
Yeah.
It's sort of a bear, isn't it?
Let's find it. I know I've shown it before. We've come back to that cycle. Hang on. This is a great one. I hope I don't get yeeted, but I love this clip. Hang on. Right, now, the funny bit, right, hang on. Right, it's 3 minutes, so let me get rid of, there's an advert because I haven't got my VPN set to Mongolia. There's a funny bit where, so Bear Grylls, ex-SAS, survival specialist, all this lark. I do quite like him. He's a good presenter and all that. And I reckon he knows his stuff, in fairness. Now, here's the thing, right? So his name's Bear Grylls. And he's surviving in the desert. I think he's already done a couple of days. He's made water out of something, and then he finds this like honeybee nest. What's it called? Hive? Beehive. We got there in the end. Don't forget to like the stream, people. And if you want to check out my Substack, top link in the description. Totally free. There's about 37 short stories over there now. Well, there is if I wrote one while we were doing this stream because it was 36 earlier. But the funny thing is, as he's trying to get the honey out of this hive, he says bears like honey, and it's really kind of sort of bears like honey. But watch the turnout on this. I was with Gail when we first watched this, and we were absolutely crying. I've got to move it forward a bit because there's less chance of a yeeting. But even this is the hive. Looks like the one that I get my honey from. Honey, the Khmer word for honey is dak kamon, and that means water bee or water from bee. Yeah, I'll check this out. But if I get yeeted, people, if you don't know how it works, I get a 3-minute ban, but then the stream carries on right here. So maybe if that happens, it comes up on the screen, copyright, something, blah, blah, blah. And then in 3 minutes, it just starts again. So make a cup of tea or something if it happens. But this is excellent. SAS man giving it the large and getting a slap in the bum. It's brilliant. Anyway, bears love honey, but I might have skipped that bit because it's too long otherwise. Here we go.
Keep calm, bees. And it's trying to fight that temptation to swat at them when they're on your hands. It's on my forehead. Forehead, go away. Go away.
Right, take note of that bit there. He says, there's one on my forehead, go away, go away. Just remember that bit, right?
Forehead, go away, go away. But he's got one stinging. That one of them's got me just up here. Here, can you see it? Can you pull it off for me? Try and get the little stinger.
Now, if you don't know, some bee stings, the actual stinger, it carries on pumping the poison into you, even though the bee's fucked off. It's got like a muscle sort of memory thing. So it's pumping poison into his head. He thinks he's got away with it. You wait till you see his boat race in a minute. There you go.
And that's what you want to pull out. You go and see that, and that's where they deliver it. But one sting for a load of
one sting, yeah, okay.
Honeycomb isn't too bad. Let me see, there's still one little fella in there. Let's let him out. Let's see what we've got in here. Nice and sweet anyway.
Notice his eyes slowly changing shape.
Bears love honey.
Oh, bears love honey. Let's see how much they love them.
But also, a good thing about this stuff is it can actually help for my sting if I get
yeah, sure.
a bit of it and then rub that onto it.
Spread the poison all around some major arteries.
And he's got really good antiseptic, and that will help that sting. Ah, man.
Well, if that does help it, I'd hate to see what it's like if it doesn't help it.
For such a small little flying thing, doesn't half deliver a punch.
He's starting to feel it now. I know I keep interrupting it, but less chance for yeeting. Look at him. And I haven't got that like on just the lucky him shutting his eyes. That's his face. Bears love honey. Oh, look,
It's GTA Vice City, isn't it?
Rubbing a bit of this on will help it. Yeah. Look, I'll show you a bit more. Look.
Brute of a bee sting. This it's made all of this part of me swell up.
trying to survive in the jungle when you can't see. That's like your missus, Packer.
Feel a bit like the Elephant Man. It's actually quite hard though to see out of this eye. It feels like a bit of a price to pay for a bit of honey.
You're telling me, mate. Look at him.
Say that.
Yeah, proper
He looks
nightmare.
like, he looks like, what's his fucking name? Oh, that posh actor played Sherlock Holmes and.
Oh, Cumberbatch Mumberdink or whatever it is.
That's him, yeah.
Yeah. He's got a bit of the English Bull Terrier about him. Bears love honey. Look, that show was called Born Survivor. Yeah, it's a favourite clip of mine. That is. Right, Johnny boy, you've been great company as ever. Scott, thanks for that. That's very kind. Thanks for that, Anglo. Very kind.
Yeah, it's always wicked talking to you. Danger. Thanks for having me on. Big love as well.
Likewise, John. Enjoy your weekend, mate.
Enjoy, fella. Take it easy.
Maybe one day we should. I mean, it's giving me the shivers just thinking about it, but maybe we should try and give up the sugar, or just for a week or something.
I'll keep saying that. I could do it, no problem. But
yeah, but
and then I'll just go. I'll one moment.
Very easy to do because you don't get hungry.
If you do a day, you can. If you can do a day, you can do 2 days. If you can do 2 days, you know.
Yeah, I'm all right at giving things up. I give up smoking like that. I just stopped. I give up drinking like that. I just stopped. It's just, temptation.
Hey, John, sorry, Packer, go on. Sorry, mate, go on.
Just compensate and eat more steak and more bacon. You have to eat more bacon. You have to. It's important.
This is hilarious. John, you've got to stop eating sweets. You've got to eat more bacon. You've got to eat more bacon.
So, Mark.
Hang on a minute, John. Packer, why have you got to eat more bacon if you're...
Because it's fatty meat. It's salty, fatty meat, and you need it. It's what you're supposed to eat.
Then why don't Jews and Muslims eat it?
What,
right,
bacon?
see you later, John. It's been lovely having you on. Look after yourself, son. It says kick from studio or ban. I eat too much sugar for sure, and
everybody does.
No, I've realised I've got a problem. And the first,
most people have.
We are a proper sugar civilization, aren't we? Like even in that restaurant yesterday, we didn't get any desserts or anything. I mean, I bought some yogurts and some marshmallows on the way home and a bit of duck on. But there were people in there getting these desserts. Honestly, Packer, it must have been like a 2-pint glass, like that big, like ice cream, about a pint of ice cream, then some other sort of whipped cream, and then loads of caramel popcorn on top of that. You know, these things were about that big. And, you know, I just thought, fucking hell, you'll be bouncing off the walls after eating that.
You know, to anybody that when you get hungry, if you don't eat within a certain amount of time, you then get angry. You get irritable.
They call it hangry, don't they?
Yeah. That's withdrawal. That's sugar withdrawal. I swear down it is. I don't get it anymore.
Because there's that thing, isn't there? The hangry judge theory. If you're going to court, you want to get in that. Your court appearance wants to be just after dinner. Because the receipts are in on it. People getting sentenced after dinner get really low sentences because the judge feels great. They've just eaten. But if you get in there at like 11:45, where he had probably skipped breakfast and he's hungry, he's hangry. Fuck you, you cheeky bastard. You're going away for 10 years. So I can go with that. Oi, people, I think I asked earlier, but I didn't look in the comments because I got distracted, as I am prone to. But give me a 1 in the chat if you think you eat a significant, no, let me rephrase it. Well, let me make it make sense. Put a 1 in the chat if you think you eat loads too much sugar. I'll be interested how many people think they eat far too much sugar. I mean, look at something like a Mars bar. A Mars is made up of like 3 different forms of sugar, isn't it? It's just 3 different: chocolate, caramel, and nougat.
Chris, it ain't even that. A potato is made of sugar. Rice is made of sugar.
Yeah, but a Mars has got to be worse than a potato. Come on.
No, your body turns it all into sugar.
No, I reckon you've missed out something.
Your body does exactly. I mean,
I'll tell you the difference.
Pound for pound, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because it's refined. That's the difference, isn't it? That'll be the difference. Right, let's have a look.
So it don't even fill you up like a bowl of rice.
Neil says only in booze, but once a week. Oh, hang on, there's loads of people. I've gone well far back here. Hang on, right. So where did I ask that question?
Mousecat says he's lost 5 stone doing this diet. There is not an ounce of fat on me.
No, you should have some fat. That's not healthy to have no fat. I think you should have about 10%.
Well, you know, I'm paraphrasing. All right. I don't actually mean
exaggerating.
that.
I get what you're saying. You haven't got any excess fat.
No.
So Special K reckons on too much sugars. Okay. Hello, Vincent. How are you, son? JP. Just put it, mate. Steve Cray. Ugly Truth. Hello, Ugly. I didn't know you were here. Pag says we make our own glucose as required. Billions years of evolution encoded in our genetics. But sometimes I get a bit shaky. And that's when I reach for the marshmallows. And people say to me, that's a blood sugar issue. And I think, shut up. I don't want to have to be diagnosed with diabetes.
Well,
I ain't having it.
If you just cut sugar out, you wouldn't be.
Anglo reckons.
Right.
So a lot of people on the beer. S. Giles, hello, mate. Didn't see you here earlier. Nice to see you. No sugar, whatever. What, including like beers and that? Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I do consume some sugar, but only in things like booze. Or, you know, if I really fancy it, I'll have a fucking biscuit.
Oh, hang on a minute, though, Packer. Like, on the stream the other day, Baz, I'll come back to you. Nice to see you, too. You drank 5 pints of beer. That's a lot of sugar, isn't it? But you're not on a no-sugar diet. That's not what you're doing, is it? You're a carnivore diet. So, sorry, I got that.
No, you got. It's a valid point, right? And it will. If I get like drunk, it will throw me out of ketosis for up to 48 hours.
Okay.
But then my body will go back into it. So if I only have a drink once a week, then I'm fine.
You stopped going to the boozer, didn't you? We all think you're at the boozer on Wednesdays, and you told us no.
The whole world does. People at work still think I go get pissed on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, but they're old. They're allowed to forget. It's interesting because, Baz, you know, I've always said it. Alcohol is up for me. Alcohol is up there with feminism, welfare, and mass immigration. The 4 worst things to happen to Western Europe. You know, people say that, yeah, but English people have always drunk. Yeah, but it was like 1.5%. It weren't like 45% like vodka or whatever. I don't know. And it is a pacifier, and it causes so many problems. It demotivates people. There's a lot of domestic violence comes off the back of it. I'm not saying don't drink, but I don't like drinking because I turn into a prick. I did when I was younger, but now I know how to regulate myself. I'll have 2, and as soon as I start behaving in a way where I know that it's going downhill, I just leave the booze, or I just come home because I don't want. I remember pretty much before I got into heroin, which effectively saved my life. So many junkies say that, but it's true. You know, all those mornings when you wake up and you think, oh, fucking hell, and then you remember that, and you're like, oh fuck, and then that, and then that, and then what you said to them, what you done to them, and then you realise what you nicked on the way home, and you're like, oh fuck, every night. Drove me mad. Anyway, Henry's on a 2. I'm not sure what that is. Is that loads of sugar or none at all? Hello, Pax Max. Nice to see you. Misses me in it. I should be getting your Devil's Delight in that. Talking about sugar in a couple of weeks. That'll put on a good 10 kilos. But I'm looking forward to it, though. Nice one. I left a voice message for your other half. I'd like you to listen to that. He knows the one I'm talking about. That would be nice if you could listen to that, love. Hope you're well. Have a nice weekend. Hello, Ludwig. Ludwig, have you read my latest story? I'll put too much pressure on you now, haven't I? I know you don't like me saying it, but he's not the only one. Humans writes a good comment, and there's been a few other people, but Ludwig somehow tunes right into my writing, and he spots things, and it makes me feel good. No, is it, Scott? Is this a punctuation problem? No carnivore diet is best. What you suggest?
I think he's up for carnivore diet, I think.
Right, so you're saying no, carnivore diet is best. Okay, yeah, because otherwise you would have said vegetarianism is best. James isn't as bad as he used to be. Neil, when he's on the piss. Special K, oh yeah, that's it. It's like my missus, I got her off the white rice because I said to her, that's just starch. That's literally nothing else. So, Packer, what does your body do? Turn the starch into sugars?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what? Hang on. So, Mouth Cat's on the carnivore diet?
Yeah.
5 stone. That's like both of my legs.
If you, honestly, people, I mean, honest, I'm just this Burke, as Chris says, right? This is not advice. I am not an expert on this subject.
And in fairness, he's never proselytized. He's never brought this conversation up and said, oh, you should do
everything Chris normally says when he's talking about shares, right? That.
Good call.
But just look into it. There's doctors, famous people. Bear Grylls was famously vegetarian at one point. He's gone round the other way and now endorses a ketogenic diet, which is virtually carnivore.
Well, honey is
carnivores still understand the properties of vegetables. Most medicines are derived from vegetables, right? So therefore, vegetables have an effect on your body. And your body doesn't like them particularly. If you eat a lot of them.
Aspirin's made from crude oil. It is. I'm sure. I based that on something someone told me in 1984. But you know,
I think it's from a tree. To be fair.
Hello, Sheila. Well, hang on. Let's see what the old chat GPT's got to say on the matter. I'll ask it. Because it might not be aspirin, but another one. Are any medicines made from oil? Yeah. Petrol is a raw material in many over-the-counter prescription drugs. Fucking hell.
Yeah, but it's probably not the actual drug, is it?
No, but it's starting to get well dark. It's in like birth control and hormone replacement therapies. Hang on. Where did I get that from? I can't remember whether aspirin is a brand name or a drug name. I don't know where I've got that from. Sorry, it's not very entertaining me reading.
Well, while he's reading, if you look into it, into the carnivore diet, doctors and everybody will generally recommend that if you're going to try it for a month. And then as much as you want.
So, Packer, your standard run-of-the-mill GP?
No,
No.
because they believe in the food pyramid.
Oh yeah, I've never really born. I've never. Hello, Ellie. Sorry,
which was invented by the owners of Kellogg's and companies like that. That are designed to sell you sugary shit.
Very much not to be trusted. Hello, Sheila. Yeah. Hello, Keys to the Kingdom. Someone's asked me to read a poem for their YouTube channel. They've selected a nice Charlie Baudelaire poem.
Brilliant.
I'm going to record that after this stream, yeah. Mrs. Me in it says, carbs are sugar and stick to your body like glue. What's that lovely song? I'm sticking with you, dun, dun, 'cause I'm made out of glue. Dun, dun, everything that you want to do, dun, dun, I'm doing it too. And then Lou Reed comes in and says something like, I can't remember the rest of it. That's Nico singing that other bit. French philosopher like Jean Baudrillard said that Nico of Velvet Underground fame and this was written in the 80s, interestingly, said Nico's trick was to be a woman pretending to be a bloke, pretending to be a woman, like a fake trans. I mean, Nico is, while very feminine, does come across a bit transy. Do you know what I mean? If you see her in the street, you'll go, you nearly pass. She'll be like, I'm a woman. Interesting. Livy, you store fat and burn sugar off. Well, me personally, Livy, that's a bit rude, isn't it? Good Lord, you've ruined my weekend, but I do. Okay, so you store fat and you burn off sugar. And that's it. You've absolutely nailed it there. That's it. So this is what because my missus is a gym teacher, isn't she? And she learned that and she told me that. The thing is, if you're eating a lot of fatty food, that's all right if you're not eating loads of sugar, which is what you're saying essentially, Packer. You can eat all that fat. But if you eat loads of sugar and fatty meats, when you exercise or when you're just living, it burns the sugar instead of the fat. And so the fat just sits on you. Yeah, that's the one. Well done, Livy.
Yeah, because your body is designed to eat the meat and the fat, right? You can eat other stuff and survive. Your body goes into survival mode. Right now, he's eating. Now I'm getting a load of sugary shit that I can run on. I can survive. But if I get any fat, I need to store that because times are hard. Because I'm not getting enough meat. That's how your body responds to it.
And something else I've heard that and it does tend to be women, but not exclusively, when women go on these diets where they just don't eat any carbs out the blue, but it's not like a keto thing. And then the pounds just drop off them. They become anorexic. They just stop eating. But the problem is the minute you eat any carbs, it don't go anywhere because your body's craving it and it doesn't process it. It ends up in the long run having the opposite effect. If you just cut them out, I don't know the end of that sentence. Baz, I don't know what you mean. 2 for 2. Oh, 2. For 2 years now, only getting energy from my food I digest. What's he mean there, Packer?
He might mean he's doing the same as me because that's where I get mine from.
So so we don't digest sugars. We burn them.
Sort of.
Okay. Baz, if
But
you
you know,
can
yeah, they do, and they do all kinds of other stuff that's not good for us.
there you
We don't-
go. I know you were being a bit hyperbolic, Packer, but yeah, you need a bit of fat on you.
Yeah, if I buy minced beef, which I buy a lot of, or any minced meat, I want at least 20% fat in that. I don't want the expensive lean stuff. I like the nice fatty stuff. Thank you very much.
There you go, Anglo. You can sell all your offcuts to Packer.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Right, let's put that invite in the chat. See who wants to come in. ER people, you don't need to have anything to talk about. I can pull a conversation out of you, or if you want to say something. So Steve's on it. Is he on it from your, because you've been camping and that, or was it the other way round? Or
No, he did do it because of me, and he done all right on it. He had joint problems in his arm and done all right, but he's knocked it on the head because he can't afford it.
Hello, Barclay. Barclay, I'm never gonna settle with Kai.
Yeah, a lot of people haven't settled with it.
I'll call you that in private, but on the old YouTubes, you'll always be Barclay Walsh. Hello, Dennis. The old marshmallow shakes. I'll tell you what, mate, they're worse than a smack withdrawal.
The withdrawal I was mentioning was the sugar withdrawals from when you saying you start rattling and you don't have your sugar.
What? So when I get a little bit shaky, it's because I've got a sugar habit, and I'm not. My body has got used to a certain level of sugar. It's gone below that level, much like a drug. You know, when my body hasn't got enough of drug A or B in it, I start withdrawing. So it's the same with sugar, because sugar's a drug, really, refined sugar.
As well,
like you refine opiate, you get heroin. You refine sugar cane, you get sugar.
It's not just that. You got to think these processed junk food like Walker's Crisps, Mars bars, like millions and millions of pounds have been spent from each of these companies. Like, how can we make this as addictive in flavor as possible? Like, send all sorts of chemicals to your brain. It's like, oh, I'm having the Mars bar, and your brain's like coming to it, basically. Maybe not as strong. Maybe it's not as strong as a feel of coming, but I mean, it's a very strong.
I think you should change maybe to definitely there, or you're saying something very bad about your sex life, or something very good about your choice of crisps. Topic says, ask anyone who does combat sports not to eat any carbs, and they'll laugh in your face.
Oh, I don't know. A certain traitor who won't be mentioned by names reckons like he did. He would always do train on keto and stuff like that. And Tyson Fury did the same thing when he did his massive weight cut. So some people would disagree. The traitor, he was a sparring.
Say hello to the traitor from me. Call him it by that name though.
Yeah, he's just a traitor now. He was. I remember he did some sparring with some of my mates at the like my old personal trainer. And he reckons he went like 10 rounds with people while fasted after doing a massive weight session while on keto. And he was saying how everyone else was trying to knock him out, and he just just completely won every single fight against people who trained to be amateur kickboxers.
What, the traitor told you that?
The traitor, yeah.
Yeah, traitors lie. They lie. Otto brings the tone of the chat up and says, fuck it, we're all going to die anyway. The thing is, Otto, you should take that advice and think, do I want to die over like 3 years, slowly getting sicker and sicker and in more and more ugly pain? Or do you want to have a healthy life? And, you see these old people and they've had such bad diets and they're always going to the fucking doctors. They're always going to the hospital, having this checked out, that checked out. And, they wake up in the morning, they have 30 tablets. I remember my nan's medical cabinet, like when I was a kid, I'd open it and she'd have about 40 bottles. And every morning she'd get one of these out, one of these. And even as a kid, just instinctively, I'd think that can't be good because the way my mum was with medicine, we rarely took tablets. You got an headache, you need to sit down, you need to relax. That's why you've got an headache. You've been running around like an idiot or eating too much sugar. But you know, she'd have like 2 big red capsules, a couple of these blue ones, like an handful of white ones every morning, and all that in your stomach. And I mean,
Your body's not built to digest these things as well, which I know that's like a pretty like bro science thing to say, but you know, I think it's an apt point.
No, it's true. Like ibuprofen apparently tears your stomach lining. It even says it on the bit of paper inside it.
I don't want to read that shit.
What blows my mind is you read this stuff and it says, you know, don't eat on an empty stomach because it is. They use a medical word that you don't know what it means, but I looked it up and it means something like burns your stomach lining. And then it says like, don't give more than 200 milligrams to under 5-year-olds. Imagine, that ain't an healthy society. And I mean healthy mentally, not fucking physically. A society that knows this tablet melts your stomach lining, giving it to someone whose stomach lining ain't even properly formed yet.
99% of the food that you'll find in the supermarket is going to give you dementia or Alzheimer's later in life. And I was going to say, I'm really glad that we're on the carnivore chat today, because I did a little stint of it. But today I've had some minced ox heart for dinner with some onions. It was banging. You get it? I got like 4.2 kilos from the best butchers in Norwich, and it cost 18 quid. 4.2 kilos. So it's cheaper than a mince you'd get in a supermarket. Extremely lean as well. Doesn't have a lot of fat in it. So you just supplement that by just putting some cheese on it. Get Parmesan cheese, because Italian cheese is always made from non-pasteurized milk. Always have your non-pasteurized milk cheese.
Mine would be getting cheddar.
Oh,
I like cheddar as well.
I'm a brie man. I love a bit of brie. I love a bit of.
Do you eat with a wax on?
Well, it's got a skin, a rind on it, I think they call it. I like a bit of Capri de Deux, but there's one I like. I can't remember what it's called. Lars might know. It's a French one. It's got an orange rind on it. It does smell like last month's pants, but Jesus, it's good. You can get it out here as well, but it's like expensive.
So quite an erotic smell to it.
Man behind the curtain, who I haven't seen in here for years and didn't know was here, and he's just shut off. Right, it's 2:23 in the morning. The grift has dried up. I will do a bit more, but I'm going to have to knock it on the head shortly because it's the start of my weekend. And it's 2:30 in the morning. Arsenal playing tomorrow. Any Bournemouth fans in the chat? What?
World, I said. I finished your sentence.
Any Bournemouth fans in the world? Well, there's probably a couple in Bournemouth.
Sorry, I meant because this is the internet. I wasn't being rude.
Oh, Raisin Sack reckons fruit sugar is good. Fructose, that'll be, won't it?
No.
Because I used to drink that innocent smoothie. Yeah. And I've got a mate who's a doctor. He's a GP. I know I've told the story a million times that he got common cold once and he called me in and I thought, what's he calling me in for? Have I got some blood test that he got wrong? He used to let me take my own blood as well. Good bloke. He's a mate. But he said, I went round, he went, I've got a cold. I went, this is all a bit weird. You're meant to be the GP. Why are you telling me you got a cold? He went, you're on that dark web, aren't you? I went, yeah. He went, get me some opium. And I said to him,
it's Dr. House.
In a different world, I said, all right. I said, your best bet is to get one of those baby 5 ml syringes without a needle and stick it up the back door. He went, it's all right, I've got a pipe. I thought, fucking hell. So I definitely didn't get him some. And I obviously had a conversation with him. He said opium's a wonder drug, and I totally believe it is.
Saved your life, didn't it?
He said, he said, I've got common cold. They say there's no cure for it. He said, but when I smoke opium, all the symptoms go. He said, and I get people coming in here day after day. I've got common cold. And he said, all I can say to him is take some paracetamol. And he said, and I said, yeah. You know, opium is totally unprocessed. The right poppy head, You scratch it, you scrape the sap that comes out. That's opium. Not fucking processed with petrol or anything. Special K loves a bit of lactose. Suck on a carrot and drink mead. Be a virtuous bastard till you drop dead. Yeah, I'm a bit like that, James. I like a bit of balance because I also know people like Slaughterhouse-Five. Kurt Vonnegut, he lived until he was like nearly 100 and he smoked and drank all his life. Well, he didn't drink all his life. Survived the Second World War, was underground when Dresden got carpet bombed by Bomber Harris. I think they dropped more bombs on Dresden than the atomic bombs in whatever they measure bombs in. I can't think he was on any particular diet. I have noticed that people who've got something to live for seem to live longer. If they've got a passion in life, if they've got a big extended family. There's a scrub, and I won't tell you who he is, but he's so fucking ill. He has to have like dialysis every week. He faints, he gets blood clots, he has heart attacks. Like he's proper on death's door. But because his son and the son's missus had a miscarriage a few years ago, and then she was told she couldn't get pregnant. She got pregnant, had twins, and he says he sent me a beautiful photo of the son holding the two twins, and you can see the back of the son walking down like the hospital ward with the two twins. They're fucking lovely. And I can tell it's keeping him going, and he says as much, really. But man, the geezer's ill. I'll tell you something else. There was another scrub, right? Listen to this. He said he contacted me via email once, and he said, "Listen, I've got this. He had like throat cancer. He had it all going on. Like, he said, I'm on death's door. He said, I've got a little bit of money tucked away. He said, I'm the only white person left on my street. He says, the only time I go out of my house is to go to the mart on the end of the road. He says, I get things thrown at me, names called, all sorts. He says, it's a mission just getting some fish fingers and that. He said, so I'm done soon. It's over for me. He said, I'm going to leave $1,000 to the Cats Protection League, some kind of cat. We've come full circle to talking about pussy. He said, I'm going to give $1,000 to them. I'm going to give $1,000. There was someone else. He said, and I want to give you $1,000. I said, come on, mate. I said, that's a lot of money. He said, yeah. He said, I just don't want to give it to you through YouTube because of that much. That's a lot to YouTube. I said, have a bit of cooling down time. You might be feeling pretty bad. He said, well, I will have it. If you want, I will. But he said, I've made my mind up. I've thought about it. And then a couple of weeks later, he said, give me your bank account. And he put $1,000 in, £1,000. And I kept in contact with him for a little while longer. We used to ping the odd email back and forward. But I haven't heard from him for a long while. It was fucking sad, man. I felt so bad for him. Like, the government that brought the government, whether it be Tory or Labour, that brought him up and that told him that he could rely on them so they could get bigger and bigger. No, the government is there to look after you. Here is welfare. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. And then when it came to it, they just abandoned him, and he lived on a street full of people he doesn't have anything in common with. They wanted him out, and he just sat there watching my streams and the internet. Sorry, hang on, Pack. I don't mean to blackpill, but we all know there's millions of people like that in England. Like people in late 50s, early 60s, no family left, living in communities that ain't theirs. It's fucking heartbreaking stuff.
I couldn't even imagine the contrast of growing up in, say, like the 70s and the 80s, where you would have actually been able to notice the difference. Like, you know, the street I grew up on, you know, I don't actually know my neighbours. Like, my neighbours now are the same people that were there when I was 4 years old. I've always known them, but, you know, I speak to them and that's about it. And then I can't speak with my other neighbours I grew up with because their youngest son is now a drug dealer. And it's like getting his mum's car petrol bombed and stuff like that. So I don't really associate with them.
So that ain't going too well for him, is it? Have I said hello to you, dealer?
Yeah, he's not a very good one from what I can tell.
No. Sorry, Packer, I interrupted you. You were going to say something.
I can't remember what I was going to say, but on that note, you know, a year or three back, you did a voiceover for a video for Daughter of Albion, Chris.
No, I didn't. I've done a stream. And I just went on a rant. And for my birthday, Daughter of Albion took the rant and put images to it.
Right. Okay. Well, that rant, I associate with my childhood. It's the same. I lived on the same kind of street. I was better off than you. Right, it was a better off street, but it was the same kind of street, and all the kids and the parents kind of knew each other, and doors were open, and you went out and disappeared for the day. I used to get up to the high road with my mate Tony, and we used to pay, I think it was 11 pence to get on a 25 bus, and go from Leigh Street in Ilford to Trafalgar Square. Get off.
That's it. We used to do it with the Red Bus Rover. Any red buses, 60p.
We only had 11 pence, but it was a return.
Right. And you could just jump on the back of those buses. Remember that? You could run up the street and just jump on. There was a pole there.
Oh no, we had better ones coming through Ilford.
All right. Well, you're right. It was a different street then. Yeah. I used to get the 96 from Dartford to Woolwich, and then the 53 from Woolwich to Trafalgar Square.
Anyway, so that's the same, and where I grew up, completely gone. The same, gone, not there.
Daughter of Albion on my 16th birthday sang me happy birthday in a voice note. Wish I still had that. Fucked up losing that one.
Yeah, but she still talks to you. She don't talk to me. I asked you to ask her why, and you're either concealing something.
When did you ask? When did you ask that? Like years ago? I did ask her on your behalf, like 4 years ago. Said
something like, "Oh, you know what I'm like. I forget," but she doesn't because we used to do loads of streams together.
We don't speak very regularly. Like most of the people. Well, she ignored my last message because last time I messaged her, I was, "Hey, do you have that video where you edited one of Chris' streams?" I messaged her a few weeks ago, but no. Occasionally, she'll comment on one of my Instagram
posts. A funny little story there. What's that girl's name? Used to knock about with Tommy Robinson. Has had quite an hard time of things. Unwashed got involved for a while. What's her name?
Lucy Brown?
Yeah. I asked her to come on my stream a few years back. I said, look, there's now everything's quieting down a bit. Fancy coming on my stream? She said, I'd rather die. And I didn't really know why. I think it might have been that Medium article that I tore apart, but I didn't know that she'd even written it. I was told afterwards. But the other day she put a video up on Twitter. It was much the same as that Daughter of Albion one with my voice. And then and it was good. It was a good video which she made. And she said something. I'm not. These weren't her exact words, but she said something like, a few months after I made this, Dangerfield made something very similar, but imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And I said to her, actually, I didn't make that. Daughter of Albion made that. I said, and then I retweeted her one because it was a good video. And then she followed me, and I thought, well, that's nice. Nice to. I don't follow people on Twitter. I follow about 20 people. Because otherwise, I go there for invest in news and football, really, and the American election at the moment. And if you follow loads of people, it's like my Telegram's barely usable. You know, people say, hit me up on Telegram. It takes me about an hour to find. I don't know who they are. But that was nice. I thought that was nice. Water under the bridge. People grow up. Not just her, me as well. So that was nice. I think it's better for people to make up than old grudges.
Anyway,
Say,
just to finish
waste
what
of
I was saying,
energy.
Sorry,
I
Packer.
now live in a small town on an ex-council estate, which is much the same as where we grew up. Most of the women, I mean, like, everyone on this estate knows everyone via no more than 1 degree. Do you know what I mean? If you don't actually know them, most of the women on the estate that you know them. So
that's quite rare. Like, I go, well, when I was in England, you go to people's houses, they don't even know their neighbours' names. No. And they've lived there like 5-10 years.
Well, it's weird. It's kind of weird because there's ways around it. Like social media's ways around it. I've told this story before. We sat indoors one afternoon and my missus said, "Oh, so and so's kid's missing." One of the mums down around the corner that our kid played with, her boy was missing. She hadn't seen him for a few hours, didn't know where he was. Right. So I'm like, the call's gone out on face cloth. So I've got up, opened the front door, and looked out the front of my house. And as I've done that, I've seen 3 other front doors open.
All open, all the lights going. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, that's where I live. That's all right.
Where I live, it's sort of the community hub only really exists now on the local Facebook group, which I'm banned from for being a member of the Homeland Party, which is hilarious. But that's pretty much it. There's a few community centres, but it's not really that strong. I see some familiar faces around like the estate, like I'll say hello to certain delivery drivers. Or some people there, who like maybe like some of them knew my dad and stuff like that, who will sometimes say hello to me. But it's kind of few and far between. But there's at least something there, and it's probably much better than living in Dartford today. But when I was a kid. When I was a very young kid, we still played out.
I wasn't going to say anything.
You're thinking it though. Oh, that was me preemptively blocking you there. I used to play out with the lad who lives next door to me, and then the 3 older brothers of the drug dealer whose family now hates me because their son's a drug dealer. He doesn't like me. Great. And then it was Ashley down the road, and he was the kid who was a proper Asbo child who always causing grief, getting into fights. Then it was at least something there, and that was before that was before the Xbox One. That was when we were still in the Xbox 360 era, where people were still playing outside somewhat. But no, you don't really see it much anymore. I mean, kids do still play out. I see them sometimes when I'm going to the shops, but it's got to be dwindling.
Our street. If it was a weekend or a school holiday, the street was full of kids, and it weren't full of cars either. There was like 7 cars in the old road, and there were kids playing tennis in the street, kids playing 40-40, where one person counts and everyone has to run away, and one person can save everyone or just themselves. Bit of knockdown ginger.
We used to like a game of football between the 2 end of terraces at the end of the road. So you got 2 big flat walls either side of the street.
Or as
were a hole on the wall either side of the road, and the area starts at the curb.
Oh, hang on, no, I can see, so
15 aside.
So it's the ones that start the next row. It's a end out.
It's the T-junction. Yeah, so you got 2 end of houses.
That's it. Because where I grew up in Dartford, it's actually like a block. My street, the end of my garden is the end of the opposite block's garden, and then it's the same with the other 2, but they sort of stop in the middle. But that geezer I was telling you about, if you're watching this, mate, ping me an email if you get to see this. But if he was in that sort of mess back in the late 70s, early 80s, people would go round there every day. He wouldn't have a day alone. People would go and take him food. If he needed a drive to the hospital, you just wouldn't let someone rot away like that. People just didn't have that in them to be that sort of selfish, essentially. You know, we I think through Thatcherism, essentially, and all, you know, fast cars, fast women, fast food, live fast, die young, instant gratification, you know, people just got selfish.
The morals have slipped. I do have a story which I can keep brief, but I think it's one you'll find some value in. You know, there I was 2 in the morning, thinking, what am I missing right now? Nicotine. So I had to go to the 24-hour petrol station. I had to go to my equivalent of Super Duper to get some nicotine pouches. And as I'm going down my moped, as I'm sure you do on yours as well, I see an old man sitting on a bench by the bus stop. It's like, hang on a minute, it's 2 in the morning. This guy looks like he's about 80. He's in a pair of shorts, a t-shirt, and a jacket.
You could earn a few quid.
I was like, hang on a minute. If I check my Cottagen app, no. So
don't laugh like that again when someone says something like that. It gives too much away, Bartley. Carry on, Tom.
So yeah, as I'm coming back, I stop and I say, "Hey, mate, are you all right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I get talking to him, and I say to him, I was like, you know, where do you live? Like, can I help you get home or anything like that? And he says, all right. So he's like, all right, can you help me to my feet? I help him to his feet, and as I turn around, he collapses and hits his head. So I'm like, oh shit, I've just let this old pensioner hit his head, and he wouldn't have done that if I didn't lift him up. So I think, all right, I've got to call an ambulance. A few things. I called the ambulance at 10 to 2. He didn't tell me how long he had been there, but I'm sure he'd been there for quite a while, considering he was sitting there shivering in the freezing cold. So I called the ambulance. They said, okay, it's going to be about an hour. So obviously, you know, he's only in a pair of shorts, a jacket, a t-shirt. So I give him my jacket, I give him my jumper, give him actually your scarf. I put it on for him just so he can keep warm. And we wound up, I was trying to get like some back and forth communication where he clearly had dementia. This entire time, you know, this was a fairly busy road. It's Plumstead Road in Norwich. There's still cars going past it all the time, taxis. No one stopped. And I guarantee no one stopped before I went past as well. And it was basically about an hour and 10 minutes of us sitting there waiting. And I couldn't hold, I was trying to engage him in conversation just to make sure he still has faculties. But yeah, it was just clearly some old man with dementia. He didn't even know his age, knew where he lived, knew his name at least. Yeah, no one stopped, no one bothered. 110 minutes.
Bartley, when this stream's finished, have a look on Google to see what denouement means.
Is this a gag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coffee said, I've always been a friendly drunk. I'm genuinely less friendly when sober. Special K on Acid says, beer built the pyramids. Hang on a minute. Did you get this fella to hospital, though? Did the ambulance come and...
Yeah, no. I waited there until the ambulance arrived. I helped him get in the ambulance.
Get the scarf back, the most important bit.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, good.
Yeah, he didn't keep any of my clothes. So they were temporary. He was like, well, you don't have a barber jacket.
Someone give me a barber jacket once. I absolutely loved it until I was told. So I've rocked up at this geezer's house, and he went, hang on a minute. He went, that's dead man's coat, isn't it? I was like, hey. He went, did Ollie give you that? I went, yeah. He went, yeah, he found it on a dead man. I thought, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, he was over the lakes. There was a dead man. Nice barber, though. What, you know, they've all got different names, haven't they, of different areas. I can't remember what one it was. Full sort of down to the knees wax jacket with the hood. I fucking loved it. But he went, he just took it off him. But when he got home, he realised he didn't really want to wear a dead man's coat. I went, I wonder why he'd give it to me. But I still wore it for a few years.
Yeah, I've had a couple of dead man's coats. They're quite nice. Get a nice
Have you
one.
really?
Yeah. I work in a nursing home, Chris. I've done for...
Do you really like when
years.
they khaki?
They leave stuff. The families leave stuff. My job to go in there and throw it all in a skip. And if I go in there right, and there's a nice herringbone tweed double-breasted coat that's hardly ever been worn, and it's lined, and it's I don't know, John Lewis or something, and I put it on his head. Am I throwing that in the fucking skip?
No, you're not. I'm quite glad you said that. I feel a lot better. Let's have a high five for the old dead man's coat.
Hang on.
Come on. Oh, come on. You've been doing it long enough. Give Barkley an... there you go.
There you go. Let's do this one.
Right.
Hold on. Right.
Nigel Bontoff said, you realise you was honest for once. Nigel, sorry, mate. That was probably from quite a long time ago. So I don't know.
Oh, that is sweet.
Oh, nice one, Ludwig. I hope you haven't emailed me and said I'm not going to review it because you put too much pressure on me. He does a cracking comment. Oh, I'll have a look at that. But people, hang on, Barks. People, if you can, I'll even make it easy for and give you the link, because all this I don't know what's happening. Loads of industry people have subbed to my Substack, and my latest story. Go on, Barry.
Sorry, Ugly Truth, Corpse and Spencer.
I see you laughing. Oh, look, Dennis has made a little joke. Parker, nice. Good one, Denise. If you could leave a comment on that, it would help me a lot.
I comment on your Substacks, even if I didn't really understand it because the right went a little bit over my head. I still do it anyway.
You read them, do you? You signed up?
Yeah, I'm Kaiser Chief.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice one. Nice. Hang on a minute. Glasses on the firm. Oh, hello, Emma. How are you, love?
Can you leave a message displayed? No particular reason.
She's in the cupboard, mate.
What?
Drop. Look at that. Anglo, I've got to agree with you, mate. He's on fire, old Ugly Tree. He's always on fire. He's one of the best commenters we've got here. Even when the material being discussed doesn't lend itself to a joke, he manages to pull one out of it for sure. Whenever I see Packer crack up, I guess usually the Ugly Truth has dropped a good one in the.
Elsewhere, when I'm just in the chat, I try and join in with him, but he does generally start it off.
Again, Packer, sorry, I was reading Toffee's comment.
When I'm in chats in other places and he's in the chat, dropping gags like that, he starts it off, and I will try and join in with him.
Oh, I see. You just explained the fundamentals of banter.
Yeah, like the scrubs do when we get like a fridge thing going or whatever.
Yeah.
Can I ask what the cupboard comment was about? I got the drop, but I didn't get the cupboard bit.
There's a lot of things people don't know about me and Young Glass. There's a lot of things people do know, though. Probably more they do know, actually. Tired, but all good. Tar Dangerfield. Sing. There you go, Al. There you go. There are a few. Yes, Ludwig, without a doubt. Oh, okay. I'm wondering whether you're making connections there or not.
I've seen that film.
I'm going to be reading that email directly after this. If there's something in it that says why you're not going to leave a comment on the actual story, I'm going to be devastated, but accepting. Ugly Truth says too kind. Well, too true, though, mate. Too true. Absolutely too true. All right, people. I think that's me done. It's 10 to 3 in the morning. I've been grafting since 10 o'clock this morning. The grift has been ridiculous, which is all right. It balances out over a year. What you honestly, people, I don't ask too many favors, but if you could, even if you just said love this, even if you want me to write the comment, email me chris@chrisdangerfield.com. If you can leave comments on Substack, I'll write the fucking comment. And then all you've got to do is post it, and then I'll respond to it. It's just snide marketing. I've had about. Well, I had 2 agents last week. One of them used to be my literary agent. I had another agent Oh, what was I going to tell Lars about? I doubt he's still here. Oh, what was it? I sent it to him already. There's a book. It's won loads of awards and loads of prizes, and it's about. I put it in the Scrubs Lifeboat. It's about a gay lion who lives under the Hollywood sign in Beverly Hills and has got concerns about climate change. This is considered the literary fiction of the era.
Do you consider it the literary fiction of the era?
No, I think it's a joke. I can't believe that Lars told me about this a couple of years ago. He said the whole fantasy, like what he writes, and he's very good at it. He said it's dominated by minorities, DEI, LGBT. I don't like adding T to that because it doesn't fit the taxonomy. I mean, lesbian and gay and bisexual are sexualities. Transsexuality is anyway. I think anyway. But I didn't know how bad it was because I keep away from traditional publishing. But it's called something like Deep Mouth or something. Open Throat is called, I think. And it's a lion who's worried about climate change and who's gay or something. And I just reading the reviews and right. Listen, the New York Times bestseller list. Every writer knows this is not based on sales. A bestseller list. Books have been on the New York Times bestseller list that have sold less than 100 copies. It's simply, hello, mate. I'm an agent for whoever, Penguin Random House. I'm a mate of yours. Stick that at the top of the list, will you? And then I'll owe you a favour. Yeah, no problem. It's got like top reviews from all they're all woke, but places that people respect and people that people respect. They probably haven't even read it. It's much like my grifting and getting me to write my own reviews. But this is a traditional published thing, not a free story on Substack. I was blown away by it. I think it's called Deep. It's not called Deep Throat. That would be ridiculous. Hang on, let me see if I can.
There is one called Deep Throat, Chris, I think. Yeah.
That's a movie, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it might be Open Throat. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, I'm thinking about Deep Throat. Yeah, look, we'll end the stream with a bit of Guardian hate. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Close saves the day with 15 euros. Evening all, just home from work. Missed the whole thing. It's been quite a good one, actually, Arklow. If you want to put your feet up, have a couple of old fashions. It's been quite mild, quite a lot of humour. We had JP on for a while. I'll read you a little bit of the Guardian review. I'll put it up on the screen. Thank you, Arklow, for the support. Nice to see you. At least you got home from work and it's the weekend, though. Absolutely lovely. No, I'm not going to support the Guardian at all.
Just on the topic of books now, SUBSTACK out now. I worked for 7 days in a book picking warehouse, so I got to see a lot of the literature that they were producing for children these days. And oh boy, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. All the kids that are avid readers, they are reading absolute poisonous shit. The most woke nonsense. The sort of thing you'd see on you know what I mean. I don't. You know exactly what types of books about like gay high schoolers. Talk about the gay agenda
and all that stuff. No, man, my kids will be reading Tolstoy. I can't stand Tolstoy, but I'll force it upon them. We can have a look at it. Check this out, people, and trust me. I've read about 30 reviews from major publications saying that this is the cutting edge. And they're calling it literary fiction. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's the canon. That's the Western canon. That's sort of like, your classic literature that changed, that pushed the boundaries and redefined. You know, these are the standout novels of our civilization.
You're claiming that about your own book, aren't you?
Oh, I write literary fiction without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, my novel is going to change literature for this century. I honestly think so. But I mean that. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking.
When's it out?
Well, I've stopped saying because.
Well, yeah, it's hard to change literary fiction if you can't release it.
Well, I've got a full-time job, and you know it would have taken 2 or 3 years to write and publish. But when you've got a full-time job, and when the market's a fucking nightmare, and you're having to do twice as much work, and you do 3-4 hour streams 2 or 3 times a week, but you know you can't have it. You know, it's 700, 800 pages. I'm very proud of it. It's just I've got to edit it because my fucking editor done the off. But I've got AI to write a bit of software that might be able to copy edit and proofread. Anyway,
I'll read it once it's out.
Oh, loads of people have read it because my Substack has been so successful. And I only set up my Substack to market it. I've got all the people that followed me during my comedy. I've got my YouTube people. You know, the numbers will go down. I don't expect everyone who watches my streams to buy it, but once it's ready, I'll get on the guerrilla marketing, and I will be using some people I know as well. There'll be a big strap line from Will Self across the cover, which will help sell it and also help not. Yeah, have a look at this. Have a look. But anyway, but trust me, I've read about 30 odd reviews, and they're talking about this book as being like, you know, the you know, literature will never be the same again. All right, have a little look at this. JP dropped a lady in. Thanks for this stream, Danger, Packer and Barks. Don't get black-pilled, lads. We are us. Boom to that, JP. Nice one, JP. So yeah, so all, you know, the usual. Let me tell. I've got to tell you a story, but I can't tell the geezer's name because I'll put him in it. But he was working with our friend Russell, and he met him for dinner once, and it was editors of like 4 major newspapers. Now, I'm not going to say they are, but the likes of the Times, the Telegraph, the Guardian, and they were just debating amongst themselves what angle they were going to take on a particular cultural event. You know, the idea that it's all, you know, sort of collusion is absolutely true. He witnessed it firsthand, you know, because he was meeting Russell as the meeting ended. These newspaper editors, 4 or 5 of them, were like, right, so we're going to go with blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah. And of course, next week, seemingly independent journalism all took the same angle. And this book, there's about 30, and they're all big publications just singing its praises. And I've read some of it, and it's fucking awful. And I know it's subjective, but it's awful. It's like, and this is probably no surprise, it's like a book for children. The lion's like, oh, I get hungry looking at those humans, but I can stave it off for another 12 hours. And then it rains or something. It's like, yeah, the global south is going to suffer from all these fossil fuels. And you're like, what the fuck?
Is it sort of this is like the subtlety of like modern Doctor Who with its political messaging or something like that. There's no nuance to it. There's no, you know, making you think. It's just like really as in your face as it can be. You're getting like subtly lectured the entire time.
It's telling you what to believe. That is, anyway. Look, let's have a look at it, and you can see for yourself. It's
I blame the Wombles.
Oh, come on. The Wombles of Wimbledon, Wombling 3.
No, no.
Next line. The Wombles
Pick up
of
your own
Wimbledon,
fucking
Wombling
right?
3. Making good use of the things that they find. They were gypsies, essentially, weren't they, the Wombles?
Yeah.
I mean that in a nice way, you know, making good use of the things that they find. That's
eco-friendly gypsies.
That's essentially recycling. Right, let me do this because I need to go to Super Duper and get some marshmallows. Old JP's put the fucking curse on me. Right, can you see that? Open Throat by Henry Hoke or Hoke review. Inside the mind of a queer mountain lion. This wild and witty takedown of 21st century America is narrated by a big cat stalking Los Angeles.
They found the gayest picture of a cat possible as well.
That's
the queerest looking lion on the planet.
That's an insult to gays, man. Here we go. The celebrity mountain lion known as P22 was trapped and euthanized because of illness last year after more than a decade stalking Los Angeles. P22 was a metaphorical powerhouse, the American dream, human rapaciousness, immigration, fame, Hollywood masculinity. Was there anything he couldn't stand in for? His memorial service sold out in minutes. He kept many US journalists in gainful, precarious employment, and a version of him stars in Henry Hoke's Open Throat. In Hollywood, cats have pronouns, and this one's a they, them, making Open Throat the best book narrated by a genderqueer feline you'll read this year.
Probably the only one ever made.
This is a one-sitting novelette. Now, as Mumford said to me once, I said to him I was going to write a novella. He went, hang on, you're going to take the laziest creative form, the novel, which I didn't appreciate, but he was only making jokes. He said, and make it even lazier, a novella. A novella's about 100 pages, a 100-page novel. This is a one-sitting novelette. I mean, that's one up from a pamphlet, really. This is a one-sitting novelette, an instant classic of xenofiction, which is something I have no idea what that's about. I assume it's about otherness fiction. But I'm taking the prefix xeno, maybe Latus or Pags can help me out there. An instant classic of xenofiction with copious line breaks, sketchy punctuation, and plenty of leonine misunderstandings. Scarcity is rendered as scarcity. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I've not read many books. I can read. I think I got an A* in English. This is shit that I'd probably come up with when I was 15, trying to be like crafty and clever. That 15-year-old me wasn't a great writer.
That's exactly what it is. This is mid-1980s postmodernism. LA as LA. Money is green paper. In a worse novel, it would cloy. Right, let's get down to here. Open Throat begins as a sly parable for how 21st century America, and especially queer-baiting, rainbow-washing 21st century Hollywood, domesticates, commodifies, defangs, and ultimately erases queerness. It ends as something wilder, a wide-ranging portrait of technology-fueled, lucre-gorged loneliness in an uncaring, self-congratulatory, liberal city obsessed with fame and ignorant of its own ecological and social breakdown. The writing is so sinuous, so wry and muscular, yet with a padding pouring playfulness that you're ready to go anywhere Hoke wants to take you. Listen to this. I've only just seen it. In movies, lions are virile, Caucasian lawgivers and saviors, Think of Aslan, Simba, even Leo, the MGM mascot. And it's a classic white male protagonist. Or a fucking lion. The
Come from Africa, don't they?
The hard-bitten noir detective, with his capacity for sudden violence and atavistic moral code that our main character reinvents. Who better to delve into Tinseltown's human frailties, self-deceptions, and hatreds than a 100-pound starving cougar? Let's get to their last bit. This is a clever, witty conceit, cleverly, wittily executed. Oh, that's shocking journalism. It's funny, it's heartbreaking, and now bitingly propulsive, with an exquisite Hitchcockian climax. You can even forgive Hoke or Hokey, the recent US novelistic habit of refusing to call Trump by his name. Hecate is an apex predator after all. What can they possibly know about the Republican Party? Well, he seems to know things about climate change and homosexuality. I mean, you see, it says $14.99 there. This review is about a year old. It's 25 quid now. So after it got all its great reviews, it just came out as an absolutely gargantuan grift. 25 quid to read. I mean, listen, hang on a minute. I have read some of this novel, so I'm not judging it just on that. I haven't got anything against a gay lion having problems with climate change if it was dealt with well. In fact, I'd be really impressed if you could pull that off. It's a bad choice of words, but I would be. You know, if someone said to me, this is about a gay lion who's got issues with climate change and lives in Hollywood, and I was like, yeah, you can poke that, which I wouldn't say. And if they said to me, yeah, but read it, I'd be amazed because it could be incredible. But if you go to it on Amazon, you can read some of it, and it's cack. It's cack. And they've all got together, the industry, and they've just put out another consensus. This is what we want to promote. This is what we want our communist society to be. And what I mean by that is destroy the previous one.
The same thing happens in, say, the gaming industry, which I'm sure isn't much of your interest, Chris. But this is sort of something where I could get more on a similar part of the conversation here. All the major game reviewers, people like IGN, Kotaku, they always seem to give the most dreadful games with the most dreadful messaging, always the best scores. And then you see the equivalent of like what the actual people say out the games. It's just that they're always dreadful. Like the quality of literature has gone down significantly. Music has gone down significantly. We're not getting started on music, subjectively, not today, Chris. And games have just gone down significantly. It seems like there's a noticeable cultural decline. And some of it is obviously engineered because I know for a fact with gaming, if they promote diversity and have multicultural casts, you get tax breaks for it.
Well, there you go. That was
the
whole Gamergate thing was all about that, wasn't it?
Yeah, sleeping with journalists, so you shitty platformer pixel-like game about finding out you're trans gets better reviews.
No,
that's every indie game now. It's a pixel-art platform where you find you're trans.
It was a game about depression.
Depression Quest?
Something like that. And she slept with a load of people, didn't she? She was Anita Sarkeesian's mate. Anyway, I'm not talking about Gamergate.
So yeah, Depression Quest. Yeah, so
hello, Finn. Hello, Wolfie. Wolfie, I didn't know you were his son. Sorry if I missed you. Right. What was I? There was something I was going to quickly do next. This is that one that I would like you to leave a comment on. Dennis has said that game that lost 300 mil recently. I don't know what that is.
Ah,
I don't know about gaming. That's the link to my Substack. It would be very kind of you to leave a review or just email me and I'll write it for you. You just have to go and plug it in. I'll get ChatGPT to write it. So, what else did I want to say before we leave? There's a Mumford song that I want to play.
Concord, that's what it was.
Sorry, Bartley. There was a different Mumford song I wanted to play here. I'm actually going to spend a couple of seconds. Can you like the stream, people? That'll be helpful.
On 3 accounts.
What's that, Barkley?
So I liked it on 3 different accounts.
I like his style, man. I do that too. Right, hang on. Let me see if I can find this song.
My mum sending me videos on Facebook of people getting their hair cut. I think she's trying to tell me something. She's also sending videos of her hoarders having their houses deep cleaned as well. I think she's subtle.
What was that lad's name? I am the one and only.
Jesus?
I am the one and only. Chesney Hawkes.
Chesney Hawkes. It's a bit Chesney Hawkes right now, I think.
What, Barclays Barnett?
Yeah.
This is the longest we've gone with me on stream without my hair being mentioned. This is like a new record. I was noticing it. I was like, how long are we going to go without a hair comment? But my final words of the stream was going to be out, and we got the whole way without a hair comment. Yeah, all gone now.
I think it might be on the other album. Really? I've got to say this. No, I realise that. Check out Mumford's. Check out Mumford's solo here. I'm just going to play Cold Hard Steel because Anglo turned up, and I can't find the other version. But Mumford's solo here. I mean, I prefer his slower solos, but he's absolutely tearing it up here.
Eleanor says I have beautiful hair.
She does. And I've not known her to be wrong yet.
Yeah, can hear it.
This is obviously not the guitar solo, but it's coming. Anglo says, Barkley is a diamond. Just saying, he is. He certainly is. Look at that. Arklow knows it. Arklow, do you listen to the album? You know this one, do you? Arklow, the song I'm looking for is where the chorus, he goes, oh, the love of my life was supernatural, oh Lord, but I can't find it. Anyway, listen to him ripping it here. Nice one, Anglo, as well. Much appreciated, son. Just on the off chance it's the next track I'm looking for, I'll give it. No, it ain't that.
That was good.
No, I don't know the sound of that.
Screeches remind me of the cats outside my house.
It might be this one. Right, we're done. I can't find it. It's not nice for you. Hello, 322. Hello, Johnny Red Pill Seed. Right. That's not very nice. I was talking to someone the other day, and it makes me feel very naive. I was talking to a mate the other day, and he was suggesting he found this thing of this bald bloke with no beard, and it's like a 60s or early 70s video of them like gluing hair onto his hair and putting a fake moustache and beard on him. And he said to me, he said, why don't you put this at the end of your clock ticking, and you know, at the end, then drop your face in or something, and it'll look like you or something. Not quite sure what he was getting at, but there is something there. He mocked one up, but it's not really what I want, but there's something there. But we were talking, and then he went, I can't grow a beard anyway, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Is that something? Can people not grow beards? I never knew. I mean,
it's taken me a long time to be able to get this far, to be honest.
Yeah, how old are you though, Barclay?
20 and 3 months.
I didn't have a beard at 20. I don't know.
No, I've still got hope then.
I don't think I had a beard at 20. Not even. I'm just trying to think of some old photos of me.
My body hair distribution is like really, really just stupid. It's like lower half my body gorilla, upper half twink, and that's just how it's always been.
Yeah, steady on the lower half gorilla. I mean, you know. Good night, Wolfie. Have a good weekend, mate. Eleanor says some it takes till they're 30 years old. I was
about carnivore when it comes quicker.
Very rude joke, but I can't do that to lovely Eleanor. Johnny, I know it, mate. Johnny says it's when your ears and nose hair start growing quicker than that on your head. Do you know what? I was living in Soho on Rupert Street. I woke up one morning, I had a little itch on my ear. And then as I sort of pulled away, my ear came with my fingers. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I've like bolted out of bed, run down to the mirror. There's an hair about 1.5 inches long sticking out of, not even in my ear. It's out on the edge. And when I get my hair cut, I have to get him to trim all around the edges of my ears and in that bit there.
Does it feel nice?
1.5 inches long. Fucking hairs. And I thought,
yeah, my hairdresser does that at the end after she's cut my hair. Once she's gone around the edge with the trimmer, she goes, right, go on in, we'll do your lugs.
Yeah, that's it. I'll tell you what, though, I do like those Turkish ones. They get hot wax. It gets like, well, the one I used to go to in Soho, it'd get like a cotton bud, it'd warm up some of this hot wax, stick it in your ear, both ears and both nostrils, and then it dries and sets, and then he's like, you ready? You go, yeah, and he grabs both of them and just yanks at it. It takes all the air out and your ears, and then he pastes it all around the outside, and it's more of a tear. However, I told a mate about that about a year after, because it also lasted longer because you're taking it out rather than just cutting it.
Did he tell you it can be bad for you and it can get infected?
That's exactly what he said. He said, trim your nose hairs to your level of your where your nostril ends. He said, you're ripping all that. Those hairs are there for a reason. And obviously I looked into it and I haven't had it since. But I can get caught out sometimes. My missus will just sort of go like that, and there's like a, you know, she's holding hairs out my nose. But yeah, they're a filter, aren't they? They're filters, your nose hairs. Anyway, listen. Right, let me just refresh entropy, check that one. Let me just check the old QR code. You can point to that one, Barclay. It's just above your head. If you use that one, you just put your camera over it. You'll get a video reply. Did he get it?
Oh, he nailed it first time.
He couldn't get it wrong sitting there, though. That's all right. It worked out nice. Right, Barclay, I'm going to let you go, son. Have a cracking weekend. You're looking good, lad. Nice to talk to you earlier. Well done on your good news, man. I obviously won't be sharing it here. There'll come a time when that.
I have one thing to plug, just very quickly. I have started a new YouTube channel, and I'm going to be posting a little documentary on it about.
Okay, so Packer, what did you make of the stream? Go on.
That YouTube channel is Saint Kai Speaks. There will be other stuff on it, but so it's Saint Kai Speaks. There'll be a picture of me in a Dangerfield
suit. Is it
suit.
already in existence?
The channel does exist. It's got 6 subscribers. The video isn't done yet because I had to interview some more people for it.
Is it Saint as in S-A-I-N-T or Saint as in S-T?
Saint as in S-A-I-N-T.
Right, hang on. I can do better. I can put the link in the chat. Saint Kai. Don't hold back.
It's because, I normally put, my last name's Stephen, so I normally put S-T Kai on most of my social media and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it looks a bit like Saint Kai, so we'll roll with it. My friend says it's sinful to have that as your YouTube channel name, but
this channel has been removed due
put it in the private chat.
It says this channel has been removed due to terms of service.
No, I'm looking at it.
I'm winding you up some. What's the avatar? I can't find it. I put
a link in the private chat.
Okay, Saint Kai Speaks.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already shadow banned because I've put exactly that in. I've gone to the filters and I've put channel, and it's nowhere to be seen.
It's probably because nothing's been uploaded on it or something like that. Or
fair point.
It was a channel which I could see. Yeah, nothing's on there yet, but. It used to be another name. I can't remember what it was, and I think I've changed it. It's probably fussing about a little bit. But
I'm sub, mate. Just done it. He took himself out now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know if Chris can. I guess we'll just have to keep control of the show. So yeah, the documentary I've done is on some local roadworks which killed loads of small businesses in my area. Reckless decisions by the council, interviewing the local business owners, seeing what the crack is.
Barclay, talk to me before you upload your first videos and talk to me before you upload your first shorts, because there's a couple of ways you can game it. On my lockpicking channel, I gamed it. My first short got 3.5 million views.
Really?
Huh? Yeah, because what YouTube want you to do is make shorts. Because TikTok's taking over, isn't it? And that's why you might almost just want to do streams and shorts. So we can talk about this. But once you've missed that first opportunity, there's loads of things you've got to remain consistent. There's a few things. Look, I know I don't do them with this channel because this channel is a streaming channel for the scrubs. It's
mega shadow banned.
Yeah, it is. But my lockpicking channel got 15,000 subscribers in a year, which doesn't sound like a lot, but most lockpicking channels now they all stop at about 400 or 500. So it's been quite a thing. I've got to make a video for that. I haven't made a video for that since I got sinusitis.
I did have some videos on that channel previously, but I deleted it and rebranded. Do you think it's worth making a completely new channel?
Let's talk about it over the weekend because it's getting late here. It's now 3:30 in the morning. There you go, people. I've just put the link in the chat. All right, Barclay. I'll put the link in the chat, Leon. It's there. It's that one. See, look at that. Look, Dennis can't see it. Leon can't find it. Vincent can't see it. You're already in trouble, man. You might want to rethink this. I mean, have you?
We'll see it now. It's in the chat.
Have you got a brand account?
A brand account? I don't know what that is. It's just a YouTube channel.
And have you used an email that you've used before online?
Possibly. No. I've got like 7 Barclay Welsh burner email accounts, and I use one of those for it. So it should be fine. I've never been banned on They've only been banned on one Barclay Welsh email.
But there will be a profile on you that YouTube will be cross-referencing with Facebook and Twitter and all sorts of things. This is how it works. Anyway, Look after yourself, Bartley. Love, thanks for coming on, mate. I'll probably have a chat with you over the weekend if you want some help with that, because there's some very basic things you can do when you start a YouTube channel that will make it work. And if you don't do them, you slow it down forever. All right, mate. Enjoy your weekend. Let's have a Barks or a B or a Kai in the chat for Barkley people. See you later, mate. I'll hit you up over the weekend. Ta-da.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Packer, here we are.
Yeah.
What did you make of tonight's stream? 3.5 hours.
Nice, wasn't it? I enjoyed that.
It was.
Nice
It was.
chat.
I felt like it was
Everyone
uplifting.
was here, by the way, in the chat.
All the OGs were they? Hello,
Yeah.
Lulu. Simon. Good to see it. There you go. He's getting loads of subs. Bless him. Packer, I'll let you go now, mate.
Okay. Thanks for having
Pick in
me.
the chat for Packer people. He's just sat there for 3.5 hours having the piss taken out of him by John Palmer.
Yeah.
With his hand in a pack of Haribo, his dick in a fucking Mars bar. Packer, look after yourself, mate. Have a cracking weekend. Get some rest, son.
All right. Cheers, all.
Yeah, ta-ra, mate.
Ta-ra.
Hoita. Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. I want to thank the boy Cray and Rags who look after this channel because it's always in trouble. I need those moderators. I want to thank everyone who donated. You are currently going into the kitty to build my missus an house in the jungle. And don't pretend that when I'm streaming from my house on poles in the jungle, hiding from snakes and spiders, tarantulas and vipers and cobras. I'm not talking about grass snakes and harvest spiders. That could be hilarious. So thanks to everyone who donated. It's really, really appreciated, obviously. And most of all, as ever, thanks to all of you lot who come and watch these streams. I want to do a stream. I'll set it up and people come along. I'll be getting a new microphone delivered probably 2 weeks. We'll be back to Vartations, which should be good. Get some rest over the weekend, people. Bless you and your families. And don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them. Even though you think they know it, they love hearing it. And you should love saying it. And if you don't, you might want to ask yourself some questions. That was meant to be really nice and it got well dark. Here's a bit of Bally G with Cold Hard Steel. There will be an awkward silence because I never get it set up right. Hang on, what's Glass saying? No mold. You talking about the mold in my bedroom? That's not. Oh, hang on, that come across weird. Anyway, Lord knows what that meant. It could mean so many things. It's been an absolute pleasure. Cheers, James. Cheers, James, the two. Oh, yes, Emma. No mold, no electric shocks. There is real mold on it, though, Glass. Have you seen it? Look, it's green. Can you see it right there? Look, all that. I mean, I got this mic for this YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel's about 11. There you go. That's fucking disgusting. So, yeah, no mold, no electric shocks, and it will work. Like, anyway, that's a very boring way to end the stream. But yeah, no mold. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? I mean, it is a long way from me, but it probably does get in my mouth a little bit. Oh, God. I need to get some marshmallows and some yogurts. Look after yourselves, people. Here is Bally G, a.k.a. the P to the M to the Umford, with Cold Hard Steel, which I dedicate to my man Anglo. My girlfriend's on the blower. Let me tell her. I'll call her back in a minute. Hello, love. I'm just doing YouTube. I'm finished now. So 5 minutes, I'll call you back. All right? You're asleep, aren't you? Huh? All right, I'll call you back in a minute. She's asleep. Okay, here we go. Cold Hard Steel, Bosch. Let me know if you can't hear it, but I think it should be all right.
Tell your daddy you're fighting good. Feel the glory he said you would. Tell your mama you're coming home. Over all of that death syndrome. But you realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Feel the dawn of your final day. Feel the fear and go anyway. Get right in that big black plane. Kill your conscience and numb your brain. But you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Do whatever they tell you to. Tell yourself it ain't really you. But when the slaughtering has begun, you'll be murdering someone's son. And you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Yes, you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel. Oh Lord. Hey.
He's got some technique, and a Lady Friday frustrato. Amazing. Good call. Anglo, I've written about 8 new songs, and I've got a couple of covers as well we're going to do that Ball agreed to. So what we'll do, when I get out to Patong, it's booked in. Thank you, Emma, love. That's very kind. Booked in for after Christmas, and sorry, I'm getting a bit. Oh, I am here. Sorry, I turned the light off because it was burning my eyes out. And we'll record the 7, and then we'll cut them down to about 5, and then do the 2 covers. We'll have a little 7-track EP, and we're going to put it on Spotify and iTunes and all that. And, you know, these days you don't need to be like 27 and tour the world. You know, there was a period where we were both a little bit gutted that we were too old to make pop music. But these days, as long as the music's good quality, and there's some cracking songs I've written. Well, I think they're good, or I wouldn't want to record them. And Paul's up for it, which is always good because he's excellent. I like a Friday frustrato. Frustrato's excellent. So yeah, there'll be essentially 7 new tracks, but 2 of them are covers. Very strange tunes to cover. You know, I've done Happy Days once, Happy Days theme tune, and I've done that song from Greece. But they're not that strange. They're Lana Del Rey's video games, and I'll keep the other one a secret. Oh, the tension. It's been an absolute pleasure, people. If you wouldn't mind getting on my Substack, that really would help. But you've done plenty for me, and you always do. So just get some rest, enjoy your weekend, and remember what I said about telling people you love them. Look after yourselves. Hoita.